know, it's Saturday. Things are going to change in terms of the schedule going forward. I will be going live only Tuesdays and Thursdays. So this is the last Saturday I will be going live. But from now on, the lives will be Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. For those who can see the graphic on the left. Hello, Unique. How you doing?
Hi, Fifth.
Good, good. All right. I'm gonna let you you've been here before, so you already know how things go. I'm gonna let you answer the prompt, okay? And then we can get into the conversation. Are modern relationships about love or leverage? What do you think?
It's about leverage.
You could expand more if you want to.
Okay. I would say men do lead with love and women start off leading with love. And it becomes leverage because she become dependent instead of independent. That, if the guy met her for the fact that she was so independent and now she's asking for a lot of things. And so she's like, well, if you love me, you'll do this for me. And it's same with the guy. If you love me, then you'll, compromise for me. And so love becomes leverage, and it comes out to who could benefit more. And then if the woman can't benefit or the man can't benefit, they break up.
Hey, that's a good point. Hey, do you think gender roles can be used? You kind of going in that way. Do you believe that gender roles, traditional gender roles, can be used to manipulate each other in a relationship to get leverage?
Yes. So whatever the modern woman or the modern man believes in, that other person will leverage it to get exactly all the things they want out of that other person. So if I have to compromise just for you to buy me a bag, then that's what I'm gonna do because it's gonna benefit me. And so you're telling me what type of person that you are, not you, Fifth. I'm just speaking in general. That man is telling that woman what type of woman he wants, so then she become that woman, and even though she's not, just to get what she want out of him. So she becomes submissive, she become understanding and compromise. Even though she doesn't feel that way, she will play that part. And then he like, oh, so blindsided. And she was never the person who she really was, even on the opposite end of, the man being like that about the woman. So I definitely do think it's deceitful, and a lot of women do that.
Yeah. Um. So that's correct in a lot of ways. In terms of the intention, absolutely. Um. Yeah, because it comes into oh well, you're supposed to do this because of dot dot dot. You know what I'm saying? And so I definitely understand that. I definitely understand that. Hey, Beyonda, you ready, Beyonda?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Hey, you can go ahead and give your take on the subject, and you could delegate as well as my co-host as well. And
Okay.
hey, are modern relationships about love or leverage? And then we'll get the TikTok chief of police after you. Go ahead,
Okay.
Beyonda.
Are they about love or leverage? That's a good question. I think it's about half and half. I think I think everyone nowadays wants to control in their lives. They want to control their destiny and their fate, and so they're not willing to lay down their pride or whatever thing they have in their life to, like part of being with someone is relinquishing control to an extent, you know? And so I don't think men and women are willing to do that as much nowadays as it was back then. Back then it was, one flesh and it was more of a partnership. And now it's like one has to be superior to the other, I think. So it just depends. I think we're seeing more of that nowadays, but I don't think that it's like totally about leverage. I think it can be about love as well. I think it's about half and a half. That's what I would say.
All right, Chief of Police, you there?
Yeah. So like if I'm gonna go like in society, then I would have to agree that most modern relationships are just about leverage. Like it's looked at more of like a business instead of like a discernment, right? So only I can only speak on a personal like position. I can't tell other women how to feel or other men how to feel. But I'm more people are give me a hard time because I feel that men should be the leaders. I feel like men are the knowledgeable ones. I feel like women are the multipliers, and whatever the man gives to us, we shall do good with. And men need to use the discernment to choose a good woman, and women need to use their discernment to choose a good man. I think that in the midst of all of that, there's a lot of childhood trauma on both ends with men and women, how they're raised, their perceptions, how things are. But for myself personally, I don't run. I'm in a traditional marriage where my man has the final say all and all say all. I do work. I do provide financial expenses into our collective savings into our future. But at the end of the day, he's the provider, the protector, and he's the responsibility is expected for him to have.
Okay. Thank you, Chief of Police. That was actually pretty well said. Faith Grimson, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, but can you give me 12 seconds?
No, no problem. So what I'll do is I'll just explain the rules for anybody who's new here. No cursing. Respect each other. Okay, and then we'll keep definitely answer the prompt before you get into the conversation. All right.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
so no problem. All right, Faith, you can go ahead and answer the prompt. Are modern relationships about love or leverage? Go.
I think both, but I think more so leverage because like the current state of our country and our world, like if you care about what's going on at all, if you have any bit of compassion or empathy, it's kind of hard to be in that just blissful, lovey-dovey, kind of mindset. Like I feel like a lot of people, it's like dog eat dog world out there right now. People are trying to survive, like, and I feel like when everybody's just trying to, save the skin on their own back, you know what I mean? Like, people come at relationships differently, and their intentions are a bit different. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what
I
I think.
definitely, yeah, I definitely know what you mean because, like I asked Unique earlier, I said, can traditional gender roles, not that there's nothing wrong with them, but can they be used to manipulate your mate?
Can I speak on that a little bit?
Yes, go ahead.
That's a lot of things. That's a lot of things where I get the flack back, especially from the woman's side, where because I do work that 9 to 5, and my paycheck goes 100% into my household, and then I do assume the responsibilities, the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry, preparing his lunch, preparing his dinner, making sure his stuff is all set and laid out for work in the morning. Like I do play on that traditional role where he comes home and he essentially can just relax if he wants. We don't have children at this point, but he's not assumed to like pick up like the dishes around the house if there's anything like if the house is out of order that's my fault, like that's more looked at as me. And so people are just like, oh, you're in slavery, and I'm like, no, because at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, when I ask my husband for anything, he gets up and does it without a doubt. I just don't feel that I should push him into his feminine energy when he is the masculine man. So if something heavy needs to get lifted, if any bills or finances need to get dealt with, any paperwork, any legal formalities, he deals with all the stress and the burden of those things, where I more deal with the daily burdens of womanhood, where he deals with like the life, the longevity of the burdens the responsibility that takes that I expect from my man.
Hey, it's open discussion right now since everybody's on the panel. Does anybody have anything to does anybody disagree with Chief of Police's point?
I mean, I think to each their own. Like, if it doesn't float your boat, it floats somebody else's. Like, as long as you're not hurting anybody, then live your life how you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Every marriage is going to look different. It's whatever the wife and the husband pretty much agree on and can grow on. And so not every marriage is going to look the same. Not every male and female system and dynamic is going to look the same, you know. And
I
so,
agree.
there's nothing wrong with that, but there's going to be some things, but um, I believe that also what you do and what you believe is also what you teach, you know. So there could be an opposing view because they may say, hey, I don't know if that's gonna be healthy, for any man and woman. And I mean, that's maybe true. But I think that every relationship, marriage is going to look different. It's whatever best suits them and the peace that they get from that, is their thing, you know. But what would
If
yeah, go ahead, Faith, go ahead.
I'm sorry, yeah, I had a like so when you it says leverage, like can you help me understand? Like, can you give me like an example of like how a relationship would be about leverage? Like, I'm just trying to like think of an example per se.
I can help you with that. So there are relationships that, you know what, Unique, go ahead, because you've been on here before and you said something that I won't forget. But but I respect your honesty. So go ahead, Unique. You can definitely give Faith an example. I'll go after you.
Okay, so Faith, it is women in the world, and I'm one of them. It's women in the world that do not believe that a relationship can fulfill them. So if they do get into a relationship, as if I get into a relationship, I will use it for leverage. I will use the fact that he wants love, he wants a partner, he wants a companion, and I will turn that into a weapon to get what I want from him. So
Um,
I will be what he wants because he's going to tell me his dream woman. I want a woman that's understanding. I want a woman that's compassionate. I want a woman that's, that wants to be with me or support my dreams. So I can play that part because I understand human emotion, but I am totally not that person. So
right.
when I do that and I become that woman for him, even though it makes me feel icky, I know that it's going to come with gifts. It's going to come with things I want.
Right.
And if I feel like I'm giving too much of myself into the part, even though I'm using the fact that he's falling in love with me from the type of woman that he wants me to be. If I feel like it's too much for me to handle or deal with, I will eventually stop. So nothing is going to make me actually stay. It's just how much can I put up with him before I actually leave. So the leverage
That
should be
makes
there, and
sense.
then he will end up being heartbroken because I know I don't desire companionship, but I know that most men do. So then if I see a beneficial, like just say he worked 9 to 5, but he'll give me half his paycheck if I cook him breakfast every morning. If I, tell him I like, oh baby, I'm here for your dreams, and I know you're gonna get that business. I know you're gonna open that business up, even though I don't care about his business. I don't care about his dreams, his hopes. I'm being the woman. He like, I love the fact that you support me in everything I do. I'm showing up for his business deals. I'm staying up late to pack him lunch. That way he can have everything. I know by being this woman, I am going to get what I want. And if I feel like I'm doing too much and I can't stand it no more, I am going to leave him and he's going to end up heartbroken and I'm not going to care because I never cared from the beginning.
That's so
Yeah,
scary,
no,
but
that
like
that
it's a
check
hundred
that
percent.
checks that makes sense. That's kind of what I was thinking, but that's girl, that's like a very extreme version of it. So you're basically like uh in di- not in disguise, but like you have a complete facade and you're using a person and they don't even know it. That's like worse than letting them know that you're just using them for a leg up to get what you want.
I
Yeah,
think that
but the
it's just she's
benefit
being
is
honest.
me
Yeah.
learning more skills and learning, okay, every man is not the same. So the fact that I'm using this leverage on this man, he told me what his dream woman, the next man won't probably have the same dream woman. So it sharpens my skills with skill set and understanding men a lot more in different calibers, in different times that they was born and what they expect. So even though he's losing out and I'm winning, I'm also winning too. I'm putting myself through a massive mental load, but at least the
Well,
next time I decide to do this, not that I'm doing this, no, I'm not. I will know more information and it'd be a smoother transition with me getting things I want.
but can't you just be yourself in relationships and benefit from a healthy, genuine relationship as opposed to
No, because okay,
pretending
everything
to
that
be
I just
someone you're
told you,
not,
I am
and leaving broken hearts in the process? Like, come on now.
okay. I I know this is like okay. Everything I told you, the woman that he wants me to be, I'm not that woman from the core. So I would have to be the opposite. If I was actually me, it will make him run instantly and I wouldn't get anything.
So why don't you just find a man that likes you for who you are?
It's not about finding a man who likes me for who I am. I don't want to be in a relationship at all. But since it's beneficial and I see that I can get this prize and this prize and this prize,
Yeah,
I
so
will
you're lying,
entertain.
you're lying to people and like manipulating them to get whatever it benefits you, without a care or concern about how it affects that individual. I
Yes,
mean, like,
leverage. Leverage. Yes.
that's not
I'm not doing
leverage.
it. I'm
That's
just saying.
just,
I'm explaining it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
oh, I thought you've been doing this. Oh my
Oh, she was
gosh.
No, no,
explaining it.
I know
Explaining it,
how.
but what
What
Oh
it
what
is,
shit.
is
Okay,
yeah,
okay. Because
I
I'm
think it
like,
goes down
girl,
to
like
like the
that is.
personal mindset. Because when I'm hearing you speak, I'm like, no, like I feel like I'm doing an investment to my life, but I feel like I have a covenant with my husband and God. So I feel it's the mindset's different, that like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter through the ups and the downs. Like that is my partner in turn is mine. We
Can
are
I?
one, right?
Can I respond to you? Unique.
Yeah, hold on.
Now,
Before you respond, Will,
now that I understand you weren't talking about yourself.
wait, hold on.
I
Hold
somebody
on.
said like all women do this.
Hey,
Wait,
hey,
who
I
said
Faith.
hold
don't.
on, hold
Yeah,
on,
Hey,
hold
hold on.
on.
The
Faith.
host
Will,
Hey,
is saying hold on.
hey,
we'll
Faith.
resume this.
Faith, 1 second.
We'll resume this. We'll get to this later. We're gonna introduce Trips. Trips, how you doing?
I'm good, but I just pulled up to the drive-through, so I got to be on mute for a second.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Who else do we have in here? We have Pastor Vulture. Is he new, Fifth?
Yes, he is. You can explain the rules to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, Pastor Vulture. This is the Beyonder speaking. I'm the co-host. This is Fifth's panel. There's a couple of ground rules. No cursing, no foul language. Have respect for everyone here, and as long as you do that, you should be good. The question is: are modern relationships about love or leverage? You can go ahead whenever you want.
All right, say twin. Yeah, modern relationships are about leverage. Yeah, I ain't leverage. Take the young lady unique, right? She was saying, that's a prime. Um, but it is not. You give actually not real love in a relationship.
Man,
You
he's
know,
breaking.
modern
Pastor
relationship
Vulture,
in
you're
today's.
breaking up real bad.
Yeah, I thought that was only me, Loki.
Oh, okay. Can you
Yeah,
hear me
you're
now?
breaking up. You're breaking up real bad. Yeah, I hear you better now. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you lucky if you find love in these modern relationships. But what the young lady unique was saying is basically what it is. And in today's days, that's why I say it's 99% leverage. Um, a lot of people are looking for a relationship as an escape. A lot of people ain't buried their ex and their soul ties that they had beforehand, so they bring demons, they package them all up in a pretty little bow, and then they get in a relationship and they let them demons out. But the thing is, you people that already have demons, and then they come and then they let their demons. So it's just all a party. And then it's just an emotional, like waste style. Like get mad in a relationship instead of talking about it as an adult or whatever. They rather go and not really cheat physically, but they cheat emotionally, or they go find like some type of leverage on something else, whether that be drinking or or a best friend that they never really talked to in a certain way, but now they do because they feel like they can't get it out of that person or spouse. They don't really want to try. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's my response. Though.
So, let me get Faith back up because I actually wanted to talk to Faith real quick. Hey, Faith. Hey, unique is very honest. Okay, very honest. It may seem very brash, but she's very honest. And one of the things about my lives, right, is that my topics prove itself every time. And there are people out there like this. Unique was on an episode before, and she simply stated that, you know, that she would have, I asked her if she would sign a prenup, but then she said her prenup 6 months into the marriage, if they had a business together, that that if they were divorced, she would get 80 and he would get 20. So I know it sounds crazy, but the thing is, there that's people need to know what's out here. I mean, I think a lot
Well,
of times,
the part that's crazy to me,
yeah.
is doing it to people that don't know, that aren't consenting to it. Because it's like, all right, cool, if you and your person got like a mutually beneficial, like transactional, however you want to put it, right? And you both are good with that, that's one thing. But our women are really like out here like playing like Groucho Marx style, like total disguises, like not being who they actually are, like just for a temporary like monetary or like benefit. Like what? Like just get a job at that point.
Guess what? She's still gonna work, but at the same time, she's still gonna play that game. And Faith, here's what your job and my job is to do. If we have kids, then we basically gotta tell our kids, hey, you need to look out for people like this, or like, or people that we mentor. Because she's basically saying that she'll be a chameleon to get what she wants. That's the leverage part that she's speaking to.
And men
You know
do
what
it
I'm
That's
too.
saying?
like that's like on another level type
Well,
thing. Like
well,
women
men do it
use
too.
men all the
If I
time,
could,
but
if I could just say something real quick, do I have to like introduce myself or say my age or anything like that first?
Hey, nah, Trips, you good, but just respond to the prompt because we was waiting on you anyway. Just respond
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
prompt
yeah.
first, and then you could get into the conversation. Go ahead, Trips.
Yeah.
So, I think, if I think modern relationships are definitely still about love. I think that people encounter people who are all about leverage and manipulation, and then use that to suggest that everybody is like that when that's not the case. There's a lot of people out there who are still very genuine about wanting to be in relationships for the right reasons, and then there's a lot of people who are not. I think that's always been the case. It just looks different now because it's more in our face now with social media and dating apps and all this kind of stuff. But I mean, relationship scandals, people using people taking taking them for everything they have, utilizing this from this person in order to get in this position, whether it's financially or status wise. All of that has always been a thing. So I couldn't say that it's any different than it has ever been. And I think that there's still a good mix of people who want genuine relationships versus who just want to utilize leverage. As far as the conversation is concerned, what Unique was saying was extremely interesting to me. That's why I gave you a follow, because I would love to talk more about that. But I think what she said was the extreme version of what people almost always do in pretty much a lot of their situations. We go to work and pretend to be somebody else to get what we want. We fake niceties to people that we don't know in order to grease the wheels of society. And in relationships, oftentimes there's people doing things that they don't necessarily care to do in order to get what they want out of the relationship. How many guys are sitting there going and watching rom-coms that they hate with all their heart just because their girl wants to, and that would be the easier way to go about the relationship? I just think that what she was saying is just taking it to a very extreme degree, but there's definitely people who do that.
Okay. Uncle Pablo, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right. Before you start, I'm gonna go ahead and say who I am. I'm the Beyonder, the co-host. This is Fifth's channel. A couple of ground rules: no foul language, no cursing. As long as you have respect for each other, then you should be good. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and enter the prompt. Are modern relationships about love or leverage? Go ahead.
It's split. Majority of the time, men marry for love. Majority of the time, women marry for leverage. If I'm going to go with the normal rule, I'm going to say 80-20. 80% of the time, honestly, to 90%, men marry for love. 80 to 90% of the time, women marry for leverage. And here's why, right? How many times where we heard women turn down 2 or 3 proposals, right? Obviously, those proposals came from men that they were in relationships with or relations with, and those men loved them, but they turn them down. Why? Because they'll give you 1,000 excuses, and it's because about leverage. They didn't feel there was enough leverage for them to marry that person, right? Second, men don't care about certain things, right? They don't care about degrees. They don't care about how much she makes. They generally don't. They just go off of how do I feel about her, and if she's the woman I'm willing to pay these bills, protect, all of those things. So for men, it's out of love, right? For women, she's best picking the best suitor based on her leverage. Okay, what would this guy give me? You know what I mean? It's never love. This is why you always say always hear women talking about they're looking for a husband, but they never talk about being a wife. And that's what messes up relationship. They don't have honor in being a wife. I just want a husband. I want a man to tolerate my nonsense, pay for my lifestyle, and cater to me. So I say that to say, when you listen to how women respond about marriage, it's generally leverage. When you hear men, it's not always, but majority, 80, 90% of the time, it's about love. I just want somebody who loves me, somebody I could love. Men want to show their love. You know what I'm saying? Men want to show their love. So, most men are not marrying because she got, 6 figures or 8 figures. Men will make 8 figures and marry a chick that worked at McDonald's. But you will never hear a chick who got 6, 7 figures. All she talking about is she got to have somebody on her level or better. That's her prerequisite. She doesn't care about character. She doesn't care about love. She just cares about his status. Men don't really care about a woman's status. The only thing we care is to make sure that she ain't a 304 and she not a thought. Other than that, we don't really care. She work at Dollar Tree. We're fine with it. I land.
Okay. Hello, Ladybug. This is the co-host Beyonder. Not sure if you heard the rules before, but no foul language, no cursing. Other than that, you can go ahead and respond whenever you want.
Hi, thanks. Yeah, so no, I just think that there wasn't any accountability with the last person speaking. And I think it's interesting that we continue to point the finger at the opposite gender. And when it takes 2 people, to make a relationship go poorly. And I think that there are a lot of men who go into relationships with an open heart, and they picked the wrong person, and their heart has been broken, and now all of a sudden it's all women. And maybe this happened with another female so it's 2 women or 3 women, but to them the pattern is women, but to me the pattern is who they're picking. It's not the women, it's the women they're choosing. And choosing is the main word here. So if someone's not working for you, then you need to choose better. Period. And modern relationships about love and leverage, no, I think that they're the same. I think relationships, times have changed. Plus, men want to be the sole providers, but men can't afford it. They can't. So the women need to work. So I don't understand this whole thing about wanting women to stay home, and I don't understand. Let us choose, and this whole submissive thing needs to go as well.
Okay, thank you for your response. Unique, you can go ahead, and after Unique goes, then it's open panel.
Okay. So the reason why I said what I said, I don't know if y'all was in here earlier, but the reason why at the core, when a little boy is growing up, right, he has his mother's love. So when a man gets older, we gotta look at the time that we in. We in 2016. Back in the 1950s, when our mothers and grandmothers, it was traditional relationships. Definitely was. And so a lot of men, dependent on like what age they are or who they grew up around, want a traditional relationship. They want a submissive woman. They want a woman that's going to listen and let them provide, let them um be the man that they want to be. So then a woman like me will give you that. I will give you what you're asking for, even though I don't want to compromise, even though I don't want to submit, even though I don't want to choose the best possible option when we come down to compromising and making a decision for us both to be happy. I know what it takes to make a relationship work, and I know how to love a person to the ends of the earth and back. Not unconditionally, but to the conditions that they're asking, and make it seem superficial and euphoric. I know that. I know how to do that. I also know that I have a choice, and a lot of women think that they don't have a choice in a relationship and be like, I will, if I love him, I'm gonna love him hard, and it's gonna make him love me more. The more you give leverage, the more he's gonna take you to it. And so you unleash control. If you unleash control to a man, you give him all the control. He doesn't have the control, really. But then you take it back. You at first you was listening, at first you was doing all these things. Now you switched it. And now you're not listening, you're not answering the phone, you're not doing none of those things. You're using your submission as a weapon towards the man. And so now he is floored and like, what happened? I thought I had her. And it's the complete opposite. And then the woman is now back talking him. The woman is now talking to him, belittling him, making him feel less than dirt, just like cussing at him, being super disrespectful, and he like, I don't know what happened, and it doesn't understand. Or you can continue to be submissive, and then when it comes down to, oh, like, I want to marry you, I want to be with you, that means the woman did a good job at acting. She did what she was supposed to do, and now she turns down the proposal because, oh, it just got real, and I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. And so then it comes down to modern women who don't listen and want to be independent and want to get their degrees because they want all the control. And so they broadcast it like, okay, I don't have to listen to you, I don't have to be this way. And then there's women who are like completely the people who like, I'm not like that, I'm submissive, I love you, but she actually is the independent woman. She has a lot of degrees, and a lot of men say they don't care about the degrees. You should care about if she got degrees, if she educated, because she is actually that woman that you despise. She just in secret, she's that she wants her freedom more than she wants a relationship. And then you get down to the pick me's, like, oh, I want a relationship and I want to be with my man, I want to love him, I want to care for him. That's not a bad thing. Marriage is not bad, relationships is not bad. But some women are okay with being submissive, and some women be submissive as a form of a weapon to get what they want out of that man. And once they done with him, they discard him, talk to him like dirt.
That's all of you, though. That's a lot of you, regardless of education.
Wait, hold on. We're gonna. So
But I think we left out one group of women, though. We left out a group of women that are educated and don't mind submitting because their husband also submits. So it's a partnership of submission.
Okay, we can respond to this after we get to the guests, the new ones that came up. So Boom Shakalaka, Kami, and Dan Kareen, I think. Is that how you pronounce the name? Kareen?
It's Corinne.
Kareen, okay. So for all of you guys that's coming in, welcome. I am the co-host Beyonder. The fifth this is his channel. A couple of ground rules for you guys. No foul language, no cursing, and have respect for each other. All right. So Boom Shakalaka, you were first, and after you, Kami, and then Corinne. So the question is, are modern relationships about love or leverage? So Shakalaka, you go, and then Kami, and then Corinne, and then we can go ahead and respond to the open panel.
Yeah, I think Lady, probably she pretty much hit the nail in the coffin to what we have today. And as far as, if a man can't provide, it's basically what she said. A man can't provide, he can't afford to provide, so you're not going to get a submissive woman. And that's basically what they've turned us into in society. And this is why a lot of relationships don't work. I believe 60% of marriages end in divorce, and that's a direct correlation to that. What has changed? Feminism, especially, has ruined relationships. It is not in the natural makeup of a man to be ultra submissive to his woman, like a lot of relationships are today. Um, Most men would like to take control. Most men would like to have the money to be the breadwinner in the household. And a lot of times, even when that happens, a woman is unwilling to submit. Now, I'm not talking about a doormat. I'm not. But bring that man peace in the house. Two alphas, like if you put two bulls on a farm with 100 cows, those two bulls will unalive each other. And it's the same thing that happens in a household with two alphas. Two alphas is hard to coexist, almost impossible. One has to submit. What we've seen in a lot of relationships and a lot of marriages today, and all of my friends that are married to women, are married to women, I think maybe one of them is the alpha. The others have had to submit to let the relationship prosper, and that's sad. It's really sad. The women want control. They got a taste of it. They want it. If you make money, if you don't, some women want both. Some women want control and you to be the breadwinner. So I think that's the problem. Um, that's the problem we have today. Too many bulls in the kitchen, too many alphas in the kitchen, and we're clashing. It's the clash of the titans. I'll land right there.
All right, thank you for your response. Kami, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna just answer the prompt directly. Or modern woman relationships about love or leverage. I would say it's a mix of both. Like, it will like what I've noticed, not even what I've noticed, just generally speaking, when a woman has leverage in the relationship, it's hard for her to submit. And so leverage is important for like love to exist in a healthy way. And typically it's when the man has the leverage because let's say he's the provider or makes significantly more overall, and he's willing to walk away. He holds frame. The way women get leverage, even when they aren't the breadwinner, is when the man's so emotionally wrapped up in the woman he can't walk away. So whoever can't walk away is the one who has no leverage, even if he is the one who should theoretically have the leverage because of money or something that makes them more valuable than the other person. But yeah, a lot of what Boom is saying was correct. Like a lot of women want to have the control and have a provider, and they get that via emotional manipulation. That's because men are weak and let them do it. But I think that like for a relationship to work in modern times, it has to be either like the man has the leverage, and he loves this woman, and the woman loves him and submits to him. Otherwise, it gets toxic. And then even in examples where a woman has enough money, let's say a power couple, like two celebrities, let's use Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, for example. Even though Will Smith makes more money than her, has a lot more money than her, and he has enough money where she doesn't need him. We see how that went out, right? Like, because he's a weak man. So even those relationships don't work unless those two people are solid. So that's just a good example of that. So I'm gonna let my plan there.
All right, Kami, thank you for your response. Kareem, you can go ahead.
It's so many things that I want to respond to. Okay, so I do think modern relationships are about leverage on both sides. I will say though, I think part of that is because one, the women that men are attracted to are their problem, right? It's a matter of there are plenty single mothers, plus size women, dark skinned women, skinny women, 4C hair women that are willing to be submissive, that are willing to be all of the things that a man is looking for, right? But men don't want those women. They want the BBL bandits. They want the racially ambiguous. They want all these other curly hair women, all these other things. And they want like a small percentage of the same type of woman. Like people don't want to admit it, but like when Cat Williams was on Shannon Sharp's when he was on Shannon Sharp's podcast or whatever, and he did that interview and he was like, look at all of their wives. Everybody, once a man gets some money, all of their wives have the same aesthetic. And I'm just saying that those are facts. You can look at it. And so the women that men want are not the women that are going to be the submissive ones. So then they put it on all of us for not being submissive in relationships when I'm a BBW. I'm a fat girl. Men don't want me. And I'm okay with that. Everybody's entitled to preferences. I'm not here to convince nobody of nothing, but I'm saying the women y'all want are the ones that's not submissive. And then you put that narrative on all women. And then secondly, when we talk about being submissive and men are not, another thing that I want to respond to is, yes, I do think that unfortunately, for women, equal rights have ruined modern dating because patriarchy the two things black men love is patriarchy and white women, babe. Like y'all don't understand, y'all love patriarchy. And because patriarchy has gotten so infused in y'all mind, when black women or when women in general are like, hey, we just want to be treated equally, or we just want to be able to go to and be, we don't want to submit to you. We want to do these things. And so I will say, the idea that the male definition of femininity is not the definition of femininity that most women want to walk into. And it's because the male definition of femininity is rooted in patriarchy. And so with that being the case, men don't benefit from patriarchy not existing, and y'all love patriarchy, and patriarchy serves y'all. It's kind of the same as white supremacy, right? White supremacy and social constructs serve white men, and that's why they're having such a hard time with us trying to tear it down. Men are having such a hard time with women trying to tear down patriarchy that now they're like, and patriarchy does exist in the entire world, but I'm just saying American men, specifically American BLK men, are so indoctrinated into patriarchy because they're like, it benefits them. And so they don't want to see it tore down. And then the last thing, and I'll land by playing, is it's not a matter of we don't want to be submissive to men. It's a matter of who is this man being submissive to. And I'm not talking about just like God or religion or any of that. Do you go to therapy? Do you have open and honest relationships with your mama? Do you know your daddy? And do you have open and honest relationships with your father? Are you having good relationships with your children? Do you view women as human beings and not just things that are tethered to you as a man? What are you submitting to as a man that would make me want to be submissive to you? I want to submit to a man one day. I absolutely want to submit to a man, but I refuse to ever submit to a man to whom I don't feel like is submitting to things that I respect. If you're submitting to the BS, if you're submitting to the whatever, to the internet, to whatever, I'm not going to submit to you, babe. I'm not. Now, if you submitting to something that I can get behind, take all the wheels. I want to be a passenger princess. I can't wait to say my man, my husband, I'm just a girl. Let me talk to my husband. I don't know. This is our joint account. I can't wait to say all of that. But I'm not about to say none of that to somebody who is out here really listening to Cam Newton. Like, what you talking about? What you mean? I land my plane.
Right.
Beyond your
Hold on,
respond to that.
I say
yeah.
stay single. Just
Yeah,
stay
Uncle Pablo,
single.
you can go ahead. Uncle
Oh
Pablo,
no,
go
I'm
ahead.
single
Respond.
as I'm single as hell, and I will stay single
I
for
know, but you
until
just said you
later.
want a husband, so you can't manifest both things. You can't
No,
say
no,
you
no.
fine with
I
being
want
single,
a
and you
husband.
can't
I
say
don't
you would
need
like a
one,
husband.
and
No,
I'm
you
single.
do. Right, be single. A
I am.
person who's happy single would would never advertise looking for a man. Look, first of all, let me correct you on patriarch. Patriarch actually benefit women because patriarch holds men accountable as men, right? Patriarch is not that we're condemning women. It is that
It's
we are
patriarchy.
hold on. Patriarchy is that we take care of society, which means we take care of our women and children. Matriarch is the opposite. Matriarch is slavery. And if you are black, you grew up in a matriarchal society in a patriarchal world, right? 73 to 75% of black children are raised by single mothers. That is the matriarch. We come from a woman-only house. When we go to school, almost 80%, if not above, teachers are female. So a kid, especially a black boy, has to come home to the matriarch, which is his mama. Then he has to go to school, right, to be under another matriarch, which is women teaching and ran institutions. And then that's where he go in the morning and he comes back. This is why the world is crazy. Women really don't benefit from matriarch because it makes you accountable.
Reverend,
It really makes you
Reverend,
accountable.
you're,
Well, here's what
I
it does. It makes men slaves, but you still need men to instill slavery.
and the
Reverend, you know what's
whole
ironic?
definition of patriarch is that men benefit. It is, so I don't
Look it
understand
up.
how you
Google
can
it.
say that.
Google. No,
That's
look
that's
One mic
not
at
the
a time.
Exactly. I just
One
Googled
mic
it. I
at a
could read
time.
it to you.
One mic. Ladybug, go ahead.
So you know what? I'm on my phone, but I just looked it up. The sole purpose is for men, not for women. So I don't understand. Explain to me how the patriarch serves women.
Okay, I got you.
Serves women
It's
because
right. I want to respond to both of them at the same time because
I'm gonna look it up too while you're
they're
doing
both saying the same thing. They're saying that men benefit from the patriarchy and women want to dismantle it, and men get upset when they dismantle it. But the funny part is when they say dismantling, they don't actually mean dismantling it, because whenever we try to start getting equality, 50-50 for first dates, women approach men, men don't pay most of the bills. They're like, oh, that's a weak man. No, men aren't supposed to do this. So like all the stuff that comes from the patriarchy that benefits women, they want to keep. All the stuff that that doesn't benefit them, they want to get rid of it. So they want to have
Okay,
their cake and
so
eat it too.
I'm just
And
going to
it's
read you
hilarious.
the definition. A system of society or government in which the father or eldest male is the head of the family and descent is traced through the male line. A system of government in which the man holds the power and women are largely excluded. So,
no,
I'm
read it. No,
lost.
finish reading. Don't stop, because I'm sure it's breaking down more detail, and you don't want to.
No, sir, I'll
Oh
read
no,
more.
yeah, right, yeah. Keep reading. We're listening.
Okay. The
Right, he was
dominant,
not included in power. That's it.
it said a system, society, or government in which men hold the power and women are largely excluded from it. The dominant ideology of patriarchy, a society or community organized on patriarchal lines. Okay, so then here's
See, you're not gonna read it all because I
no.
read it,
That's all it said.
right.
That's
But
all
if
it
it
said.
says
And so
more, it basically means men hold the power because men hold the responsibility.
okay,
It
here's
makes it
another
right.
definition.
No other see how you have to go to other definitions?
No, I don't.
You're
I'm just
picking apart. You didn't need
I'm
the whole
not
thing because I
okay.
know
So
what
I
comes
would
up.
like you to
I
find
know
a
what comes
source
up.
and
I
read
know
it to
when it
me.
comes up.
Read it
I
to
know
me.
when it
Find
comes.
your
No,
source
you
then.
pulled it up. You read it.
I did. I
Well,
read
they-
it.
You
And
read half of it. You
I
read
didn't,
about
sir.
the power part.
I
You
didn't
want
read
to read
Can
half
I
of
ask,
it.
Reverend, can I ask you a
Hey,
question?
y'all, one mic. Go one mic.
I read the
Who-
whole
All right, let
thing.
me finish up. Let me finish up what I'm saying. At the end of the day, just like the brother Kami said, you really like patriarch. You just don't like the work that goes into it. Because yes, when we say 50-50 for a dinner, you're mad, right? You expect us to open a door, you expect us to protect you, right? There's nothing that
I don't expect any of that.
Hold on. Yes,
Well,
you do.
No, I don't.
So if a burglar came in your house, are you going to step up, or do you expect the man to step up?
I'm going to step up. But just to let
Okay,
you know, I'm
then-
48
and
years
then
old and
you
I've
don't
never
want-
had a burglar.
okay, let's
That's
not lie.
It's not
Let's not
lie.
lie. Come
What
on.
do you mean it's not a lie? I'm married to a 5'7" man. You think he's going to be protecting me? I don't think so.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh my
He's
God.
going to try.
I hope he
He can
does.
try.
Hey, wait,
He can
hold
try.
on.
I hope he lets you get in front of it.
Hey, hold on one
Can
second. Hold on,
can
Kareem.
I
Hold on
ask
one
Reverend
second.
a question?
Wait,
Hold on one
on.
second, Kareem. Hold on. I got to chime in.
Yeah, please.
Ladybug. So I've been listening this whole time, but I had to go on mute for a second because I had to eat my lunch. Ladybug, what'd you say about your husband?
I said he could try to protect me, but I didn't marry a football linebacker. I
Wait,
didn't.
no, go
He's
back. You said he's what?
5'7". He's not huge. He's 100 and something, 45, 50 pounds. This guy. So yeah, if somebody's coming in, he's going to do his best, but it's not like he's going to be my saving grace here. No.
Ladybug,
Wild.
hold
Did
on
you
a
marry
second.
him for love?
Yeah, I married him for
Unique.
love. I love him. He's a smart man. He
I'm
makes me laugh. But
I'm talking.
I
I'm
didn't
talking to
marry a
This is the
violent
Ladybug.
host
man.
talking. Hold on.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
lady, hold on a second. I'm having a one-on-one dialogue with Ladybug. Ladybug, why did you bring up your husband's height and his weight? Why did you bring that up?
Because they're trying to say that I'm going to need a man to protect me if somebody breaks in the home. So that automatically brings in that I'm not capable of protecting myself because I'm not large enough. So I'm letting them know that just because I have a man in the home doesn't mean my man is huge and is going to be able to protect me too.
He said they didn't say you
So,
need them. They said
Kami,
be respected.
wait,
Let
Kami,
me just quick question: what is her height and her size?
Hold
Pablo,
on. Let the host talk. Hold on.
5'3" and 108 pounds.
Okay, lady, because me and lady are having a one-on-one dialogue. I do this every now and then on my show. So, lady, you brought that up. I get it. Is your husband in a room with you right now?
No, he's not.
Okay. How do you think your husband would feel if he heard what you said just now?
His facts are facts, man. I don't know. I mean, all I said was his height and his size. What do you want me to do? I mean, he's going to do what he can, but I married a very smart, artistic, creative person. I didn't marry somebody who reacts that way on purpose. I grew up with that. So yeah, my whole point is that they're trying to say that that I would need a man to protect myself in my home. And to be honest, I have an alarm system that I had put in. So that's what protects me. If I don't have a weapon, but if I did, that would be what would protect me. Do I?
So
So,
I think
so,
I think I
so,
think
boom,
can I
boom,
say
wait, boom, wait. I'm gonna let y'all do
go
it. Just
go
hold on.
go
I've
ahead,
been
brother. Go ahead.
quiet.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's
Go
all
ahead, man.
right.
Go ahead.
I've been quiet for 20 minutes. So check this out. The reason why I'm asking these questions is because this is the thing. This is the thing that men and women are going through and what they're hearing. How would you feel if your husband came on this panel and he pointed out what your shortcomings are?
I don't think I didn't point out his shortcomings. I just strictly stated facts.
No, but
And
it's the way you said it. You said it like, well, he's 5'7". What the heck is he gonna do? I listened very well.
yeah. And I'm saying it in the way to kind of combat my story. But yes, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Sure, would I have to say I'm sorry? Probably. I don't know. But it's not like I'm saying anything terrible. I'm just stating the facts that I don't know. Do I sleep better with him home? Yes, I do. But it doesn't mean that if an intruder breaks in the home that he's going to be the person that is like, I'm sorry. He just isn't. I'm sorry.
So then why did you talked about why you married him. Why did he marry you?
The same reasons. I'm funny. He loves me. We're compatible. We get along. We have the same values. We like to travel. Been together for 25 years. Seem to be working out. I'm just trying to say that I think that this is an old gender role idea that women need these huge burly protectors, and not all men are made that way. They're just not.
Can I say something, Fifth? Can I
You
say
go,
something real quick?
yeah, you go ahead and then we gotta let Teardrop come
Okay.
in. Go
I
ahead,
just
boom.
you guys didn't hear the totality of her conversation because I've been listening for like 45 minutes or so. She runs that household. Y'all not hearing this shit. She's the alpha in that house. The way she said that, she runs that. She said it earlier. She was like, no, the man doesn't, the patriarchy, that shit is old. The man has to make the money. No, she runs that household. So a man that was 5'7", 130 pounds is perfect to her. She says, sit, he rolls over. She runs that shit. That's
Oh,
what she wanted.
Hey,
you know
boom,
We're
what?
boom,
perfectly
He
boom.
fine.
You
controls
gotta watch your
all the
language, boom.
money. So
Watch your
he
language,
I'm
boom.
sorry.
he
I'm
has
sorry. I'm
his
sorry.
own control. So
I didn't say the
let's
money. I
not
didn't say
dumb
the
him
money.
down. And
I
he's
didn't say the money. I said you control the household. I
I
said
sure
that's.
as hell do. I sure as
Thank
hell
you.
do.
I knew that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Of course I do. I raise the kids, I take care of the home. I'm the CEO of this house. So yeah. And that's what he chose. That's what he wanted. He didn't want to have to deal and worry about his home while he's at his job. Of course not. And same thing. I don't want a guy who can't provide or take care of me like that. And it just, yeah.
I
I don't
think
know why you wouldn't want two
so.
alphas.
Basically, you
Are
admitted
you
you need
not
a
getting
man,
what they're
right?
saying, Ladybug? They
You
saying you the man and he the woman.
right, but no, she's
No,
admitting
I
she
know.
needs a man. She
I
said
know
she
that's
needs
what
a
they
man.
want to say.
Hold
That's
on,
what
you
they
just
want to
said you
say.
need a man to provide for you and protect you. First of all, you're 5'3", 108. You said he's 5'7" and 130. So he's
150.
bigger than you, right?
150, I said. 150.
150, right? So he's bigger than you,
Yep.
right? So you think you could outfight him?
Definitely not.
All right. So therefore, you think you can handle yourself if an intruder comes in better than he can? Who has a better chance of winning a fight against an intruder, you or him?
Okay, obviously he would.
All right, there you go. So you
Yeah, there
said,
you go.
right, you
Yeah.
try to belittle him and you weren't saying why
No,
he there.
I'm not
This
belittling
this
him.
is this is what a lot of y'all do,
No,
right? This is the hold on. Hold on.
All right.
This is the fake feminism, right? They get on here, they talk all this, they tell women all this stuff. When that man come home, she don't run none of that shit. She says she the CEO, she runs shit because she's trying to impress other women as if she has.
Yo, with the cussing, man, for real. Chill. Go ahead, Pablo.
So at the end of the day, they're lying. They get on here and they lie. That man, if he leaves, she will lose her mind. She needs that man because the lifestyle she lives, the ability to raise her kids, requires that man to work. She's CEO of the household in the sense of the home, but the household itself, if he say yes or no, he's the final decision maker. That's the
Okay, so
reality.
I'm
Brother,
educated and I
I
have
don't
a
you
give
don't
a
know
career
white
as
guys,
well.
brother. You don't know the white guys will let their woman run the household like that. You don't know white guys very well, bro.
well, black guys too. So it's not
Yo, teardrop. Go ahead, teardrop.
a
Yeah,
lot
because I
of
don't
a
even know
lot of
what that
brothers
was. You telling
are
this lady what her husband do and what they got going on in their house, and that be y'all number one problem. Because mind your business. She was nice to even share her relationship with y'all, try to tell y'all what's going on in their house, and then you go telling her what's going on in her household. That whole conversation didn't even make no sense.
Hey,
Y'all,
wait,
her husband,
teardrop.
huh?
Teardrop, hold on. Before you do that, you know the rules. You got to answer the prompt,
No,
okay?
I'm gonna answer
And
the
then you
prompt
could.
too. I'm gonna answer the prompt too, but it's a relevance factor. I know how to do it. It's a relevance factor though, because before I even answer the
now
prompt,
answer the
if
prompt.
the prompt was
Answer the
even being
prompt first and
answered,
then go
the
into
prompt was even being
respect the
answered.
host.
You don't tell me what to do. Who you not even fit.
Okay, I'm
Respect the
fifth.
host.
I'm
Yeah,
fifth.
but he wasn't you. I
Hold on.
listened to you.
Teardrop, please. I'm very fair up here. You know I'm gonna let you speak.
It
You know
don't
I'm gonna
seem
let
like
you
it because
speak.
you keep muting me.
I'm muting you because you're over talking me.
Because you're not listening to me.
No, because
I heard you.
this
I
is
told you
what
I
I'm
heard
talking
you.
about. No, you're over talking me now. Teardrop.
Okay.
I've been nice to you. I've never been disrespectful to you.
But did
I
you hear
just
what I just said?
I teardrop. Can you
Okay.
give me a second? Can you give me a second?
I'm gonna give you a second, okay?
Okay. The reason why I have to stop you is
Mm-hmm.
because if I don't set the tone, then people are gonna come up here and think they could do what you just did, and they can't do that. I need them to answer the prompt first, and then they
I'm
can get into
answering
the
the prompt.
conversation.
That's what I'm
No,
trying to tell
no,
you.
you're having a back and forth with Pablo.
No, baby, I'm not having a
Yes,
back
you
and
will.
forth with Pablo. I'm
Yes,
trying
you
to
will.
answer the prompt.
See, that's what I'm
Thank you.
talking about.
Thank you. Thank
You don't negotiate with terrorists.
Right, because I've never been. Here's the thing, right? I've never been disrespectful to Teardrop.
Never.
Teardrop came on my panel, and I let her get her stuff off.
Usually, yeah.
Right. So she comes up. She's having and she probably will unfollow me, whatever. But she comes up here, and I'm trying to get her to answer the prompt first because yes, this is TikTok, but this is also a show. Okay, this goes on YouTube the next day, my YouTube channel. This is a show, so there has to be rules and parameters. Okay, I was gonna let her talk. She wouldn't even, because she's so riled up and angry, and I'm trying to get her to chill. You know what I'm saying? She could have definitely joined the conversation, but I
Yeah, she was
wanted her
doing
to
too
come up
much.
here. Right, I just
I'll
wanted
say
her
this,
to answer
brother.
the prompt. You know what I'm
You've been
saying? But
more than
Pablo, hold on.
fair.
Wait, Pablo, hold on.
I'm
I
telling you,
got
you've
you,
been more
Pablo.
than fair. You've been very reasonable, and she was
Right.
disrespectful to you and your show. You can't negotiate with terrorists because you've been cool since I got on here. You ain't get out of place. You let people talk, and whether women or not, yo, this is your show. Who is she to tell you how to run your joint? So no, brother, I'm telling you for myself. You've been more than fair. You've been more than courteous. You've been more than kind. She should have respected your space. This is your space. I land.
There we go. Okay, now I have Jess. Jess is one of my VIPs. So I'm gonna have Jess go. First of all, before I ask you the question, hey Jess, how you doing, Jess?
I am blessed. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here.
Welcome back.
Hey, can you?
Thank you.
There we go. I rock with Jess heavy. All right. So, hey Jess, are modern relationships about love or leverage? You can go.
Okay, so I would say they're more about love. The problem is people are still using the transactional language of the past, and that's the problem. More people want to be in quality relationships, but they just don't know how to do that. So they're using vessels and mechanisms that quote unquote worked in the past, but the past was all about leverage. The past was all about the man, especially in Africa. I don't know why people keep saying that marriage is the white man's construct, because the marriage and the patriarchy existed before the invention of whiteness. So even like in parts of Africa, the man had to pay a bride price, right? So it was only a certain kind of man who had access to women. It was completely financial. It was completely what he could get, what he could pay for. So that idea really just translated over multiple generations. And now even in 2026, you see men still talking about their masculinity being attached to production. And then you see women who are echoing the same sentiments that you're not a good enough man unless you're attached to a certain financial status. So yeah, the idea of a transactional relationship is not a city girls concept. It's not a modern feminism concept. It's really how marriage has been used and oppressed and mobilized, I would say, for generations. And so I think now, again, to land my plane, people are trying to get out of that instead of trying to get with people just for what they can do for them, but they're still using that same transactional language that their grandfathers and forefathers used. And that's the problem.
All right. Thank you for your response, Jess. Welcome back once again. Bada Bing, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Welcome to the panel. I'm the co-host Beyonder. This is Fifth's channel. Couple of ground rules: no cursing, no foul language. Have respect for each other. We have to, be able to do one mic at a time. All right. So don't talk over each other. But answer the question whenever you would like. Are modern relationships about love or leverage? Go ahead.
Modern relationships, I wouldn't really truly know. I'm 52 years old, so I'm going back to a relationship of 1993, 94, just before my son was born. I was married to her for 30 years, and she cheated on me with a coworker that was an illegal immigrant. That was worked in the kitchen as an egg flipper. A guy who made eggs in the morning for the nursing home people. She was in LNA. And me, I'm a contractor. I'm a paint contractor. I make great living. Yet, she decided to go with a guy that was, I think he was right around somewhere in his 30s. And this was like 4 years ago. So I was right around 40. I was almost 50 years old. I was 49. So the only thing I can look at modern relationship wise is I'm still going out with girls that are, or women that are in their mid 40s, early 40s. I don't know. I think the world is crazy, and I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I really can't. Not even for people my age.
Hypergamous.
All right, thank you for your response, Bada Bing. How you say your name? Okura?
Bada bing. Bada bing.
Okay though. Nah, I'm gonna let my man finish though. I don't know if he's saying something, but
Yeah, how do you say your name, my guy? The one that just joined.
my
Okura?
you say my Okara.
Okara. Okay, my fault. Okay. Okara, welcome to the panel. I'm the co-host of The Beyonder. This is Fifth's channel. Couple of ground rules: no cursing, no foul language. So answer the question: are modern relationships about love or leverage? Go ahead.
Are modern relationships about love or leverage?
Yes, sir.
I think if a man makes it about love, he's ultimately going to lose. I think even he can love, but if he make it about love, he's going to lose control. And once a man lose control, a woman lose respect. And once she lose respect, it's over. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we can all love each other, but if we make it about love, that's when we lose. She can make it about love though. You know what I'm saying? She can make it about love. That's fine, as long as we aren't basing it off that emotion. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, you know, we have to be in control, and love makes it, and love, gets us out of control. It makes us make sometimes irrational decisions. We got to stay rational. You know what I'm saying? They say love is blind sometimes, and if the man is blind, and at any point, the woman ain't gonna feel that man's strong enough to lead her. You know what I'm saying? And then she's ultimately, even though she might think it's cute, she ultimately is not going to start. She's going to start slipping. Her trust in that man is going to start slipping a little bit if he ain't got no control of that. So he gotta keep that leverage. Those emotional leverages. You know what I'm saying? In order. You feel me? So yeah, I mean, you could lose the game. You can lose trying to base it on love. Straight up, straight lose. That's how I see it. I can land right there.
All right, thank you for your response, Okara. Adam, are you there?
Can I ask Okara a question?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
Oh,
And then we'll go to Adam afterwards.
Okay, Okara, if
Yes.
me and you were dating, right, and I was submissive to you, I let you like lead the relationship, I wasn't controlling, I listened to everything that you told me to do, and me and you had a good dialogue, and I communicated my feelings, and I felt heard, and I will love you through the ups and downs. Would you marry me?
I mean, I might not though, because if you letting me run over you in certain kind of ways, I'm not gonna like that about you. You know
But
what I'm
I'm
saying?
submissive, and I'm like, we have good dialogue. We feel equal, and we even do 50-50. Like, I don't want you to pay all the bills. I'm willing to work if you're willing to let me work, and you don't. The household is not completely on you.
I mean, that's cool, but I still got to discern the type of person you is. You know what I'm saying? You could be giving me that initially, and you know what I mean, you could be doing that initially, but I also got to watch my guard and stand firm in my position. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure that and what you're doing isn't going to break my frame, because ultimately you're going to all of that you giving me, and all of that how you making me feel. You know that could make me lose focus on some things. You know what I'm saying? So
What if I want you to focus on your dreams, and I made the money so you can focus on your business or whatever you wanted to do, to benefit our family?
you made the money so I could focus on my dreams.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be in that. I wouldn't want to be in that position. I wouldn't want to be in that position. I would want to stabilize myself. I wouldn't want to depend on you in that financial way. That's weakening me as a man. You know what I mean? Giving you that type of dependence, because once you pull the rug from up under me, my dreams fail. You
Okay,
understand?
so
That's
what
not
if I
that's not
depended
something for me
on
to do.
you 100% then?
If you depend on me, I believe in myself. So if you depend on me, that's your choice. You know, I still know that you're going to. I still believe also that it's okay for you to depend on me, because I ain't going to do nothing like that to you. You know what I'm saying? But a man doing that, switching the roles, I don't think that's good for a man. You know, a woman
Okay, so
typically
I gave you
depends
3
on a woman.
different scenarios and you gave me 3 different answers, and you still, with 3 different scenarios, you would not marry me.
I still would have to figure out if I need to marry you. You could do all of that all you want. I still got to figure out if you're still the one for me to marry.
So what if you married me, then you found out that I was none of those things and I
Exactly.
played you,
Exactly.
but I
That's
got
why
the
while you're
ring?
doing that is why while you're doing those things, I still got to figure this thing out. I still got to figure it out. Just because you offer me all of these services and positions and stuff like that, that ain't going to break my frame.
It
I still got
would,
to make sure I'm in check. And no,
because
it's not going to
submission.
break my frame. You know what I'm saying? That's still a choice for me to make. Just because you're submissive and you're doing this in order to rub me the right way and all of this, so now I gotta melt and become weak, so you can ultimately what, have a certain type of leverage or a certain type of position. You know, nah. I don't care all of that you giving me. If I'm not comfortable with where I am, regardless if you leave, break, fold, or come or go, then I'm not gonna be ready to do nothing with you. I gotta be comfortable. I'm the rock. I can't make you my rock.
All right.
I
Before
land
we
my
get back
plane.
in, okay. Adam, are you there? I'm sorry, Adam. Okay. Adam, welcome to the panel. A couple of ground rules: no foul language, no cursing, and then have respect for everybody here. So whenever you're ready, answer the question: are modern relationships about love or leverage? Go ahead.
It's always been a mixture of both. Perhaps in the past there was more leverage than love, because marriages and families were really economic survival units, more so than anything else back in the past. And in modern relationships, we pushed other emotions to the front. So I do think a lot of people, when they initially get married, they're doing it, at least they're doing it ideally for love, but there's always leverage. The parties are looking at each person and seeing how can that person make my life better. And this isn't an anti-woman statement, but we live in a hypergamous world, and women generally judge men by their ability to provide for the family or future family. And men tend to be less, as the last person who was speaking said, tend to look at women without that requirement. You know,
Okay. Thank you for your response, Adam. Now that we're an open panel, Jess, you can go ahead and ask your question. Go ahead, Jess.
Oh, is Zach is new? Did you want me to wait?
Hey,
Oh,
Zacchaeus,
my
what up,
fault. I
brother?
didn't see that he
It's
was there.
all
My fault,
good. Yeah,
Zacchaeus.
yeah. I just invited him. Zacchaeus, what up, brother? My
Hey,
brother, what's going
what's
on?
good? How's everything? Okay? Yeah, man.
Hey,
Blessings,
hey,
blessings, man.
what's
Yeah.
going on? What's going on, brother? Hey, are modern relationships about love or leverage? Go ahead.
Well, you gotta look at the whole that dynamic and aspect of love today, what people define love today. And because of the financial struggles of people, I would say is a yes, is love is there, and it seems like it's minimal now. And leverage is like a trailblazer. It's leading because you see most some people, I would say some women are they focus on security. Men focus on security too, but you see the thing is that when you focus on one thing stronger than the other, that's a problem. When you focus on leverage, which is a very, very I would say leverage is a very thing that's very short short-term lived. Which security is important, is a combination of both is important. But when you just focus on leverage, then it's not good, because when it comes to with love is more like an emotional with character, respect, dignity, and integrity, and commitment, and staying together and working things out together and building together, and realizing that my money is your money is my money, and building together as a unit, and that's longevity right there. Despite the storms, the good times, the bad times, that's longevity right there. But leverage is important too. It's important. It's an important component too, because when you talk about leverage, you talk about security. You talk about stability, security, with money when it comes to finances. But I would truly say that I would say that love is a winner in this one. Than more than the leverage, because leverage is good. It's a good combination. But if you just lean on that, it doesn't. It's not a longevity. It's not a longevity thing. No. Yeah.
Okay. I had a question for Okera. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Oh, it's Okera, but you said
Okera.
it
Okay.
a little
I got it.
twist.
I'm a little Latin. I had to roll my R's a little bit. But
Yeah, that's cool.
so my question was, and what I heard was that men should have control and women can have the love part. Is that a correct summary of what you said?
No, not necessarily have control. I don't want to seem like a tyrant or some type of controlling dictator and all of that. It ain't to that. I'm just saying that if a man lose control of himself, his and his position, and and his pursuit, ultimately the woman would behave a certain way, which would ultimately destroy his kingdom.
Okay, but you're saying that
Destroy.
the man should choose leverage over love. The woman can have the love. The man should prioritize the leverage, right? That's what you said, right? Because this is not my question, but I don't want to put words in your mouth, because
They should both have the love. Yeah.
that's what I heard.
Yeah, we could both have the love,
But it's
but
not what
we
you
got.
said.
Nah, I listen. We could both have the love, but I'm saying a man gotta know his position and leverage. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because ultimately, if he's not in place, which leverage allows you to be in, and it allows you to stay in your frame. It allows you to stay in your place.
Okay. And I don't want to cut you off. I just don't want us to. I don't want you to be responding to questions that aren't my actual question. I just don't want to take up too much time on this.
What's your question?
Yes, my actual question, right? Because you mentioned that men should have control, be in control. They, they shouldn't lose control by prioritizing love. I wanted to ask you, what does control look like in that romantic relationship in contrast to the woman? If she can prioritize love and the man should prioritize control, what does control look like in contrast to her?
I mean, he should make sure certain things don't fail. You know what I'm saying? If that's the finance part, he should make sure that doesn't fail. If that's the communication, he should make sure that doesn't fail. You know what I'm saying? If that's goal oriented, he has to stand on that and not make sure those things fail without feelings getting in the way, deterring whatever those primary goals are. You know what I'm saying? So because if we become emotional creatures, or if we base things off love, sometimes our decisions become irrational. We got to stay rational in all our ways. And a woman will notice that. A woman will notice her man is getting a little soft. She would notice that before he even realized he's getting soft. She would notice he's getting soft. And then ultimately, what I'm saying is she is going to lose respect for him. She's going to lose attraction for him. Once she feels that and senses that in her man, she's not going to feel comfortable with that man like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't want us to get too much off track, because I was specifically asking about the man and not what the woman would think of him. But what I'm hearing you say is his control automatically means success. So if he fails at something, if he fails at providing financial stability, if he fails at providing protection or these other things, then that means he wasn't in control. But how
No,
are those two things synonymous? Because we
I'm
can
not
say,
really using the word control. You are right now, but what I'm really trying to say is stability. He got to stand firm and stay in his position and stick to his frame. If he base it on love, it is going to weaken his decision making. It is going to weaken his position. If he base it on love, it's going to make him make irrational decisions. If he's making it about love, and
yeah,
ultimately that will destroy the relationship because of how women respond to it.
okay, I want to validate that you're saying love is a volatile emotion. So I want to validate that's what you're saying. What the pushback that I'm having on it, and I'll just land my plane. The pushback I'm having on that is a lot of men, especially, cannot define the antithesis of it. They'll define it through, oh well, he has to bring the stability or he has to work in this frame. You were using a lot of ambiguous terms. Even in your response to Unique, you used the term control, which is why I even brought it up, because I wanted to know, what does control mean? That can be very ambiguous to a lot of people. And so because we have no one definition of what this masculine role is supposed to be, what this antithesis of feminine nature is supposed to be, I think that's part of the problem, is that we have a lot of listless, lawless men trying to define their masculinity in all these other echo chambers, but nobody has a real example for them. But that was my only point. Bad baby, bada bing, you can go.
Yeah, you know, I don't know how long anybody's relationship or marriage, or if you're still married, but I was in one for 30 years. And when it disintegrated, uh, I loved her from when we were kids. I spent pretty much more than half of my lifetime with this one woman. And when you look and you say about today's relationships, whether it's love or leverage, the only thing I ever did was love my wife. I never cheated on my wife. I had two beautiful children, my son and my daughter. My daughter's 21. My son is 30. They're almost 10 years apart. But we've got two grandchildren. And then, I was a paint contractor until the time until she cheated. Then I fell 3 stories from a ladder. I know I'm now got brain damage. I also had a stroke last Sunday. I had a silent stroke, which gave me more brain damage. I got my right side that's all messed up. So when I needed somebody here that I thought loved me, after 30 years, I gave of my life. And to be honest with you, it was life. I gave her my whole entire life. And for her to just feel as though you went through a midlife crisis, and probably there's a lot more younger people in here. When you go through a midlife crisis and you feel as though life has passed you by, and now you're starting to hang out with 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, and you're in your deep 40s like she was, and wanting to go to clubs and wanting to go to nightclubs and everything else, and you push back on it, and you're just, I'm kind of wondering, where did society take over? Where did, because I don't know, like the whole thing with social media, with TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and different things. Now you have this outlet of TikTok that has been live for quite a while now. And so you get to come inside and hear, how younger people. Oh, sorry about that. That was my alarm. You get to hear a younger generation talking about relationships and whatnot. For me, I'm just kind of wondering where did the days of like my mother and father, you know, they put their money together. My mother and father always put their money together. They were as one big unit. And my mother didn't make as much as my father, but my mother, washed the clothes, cooked the meals, did everything for the man. And my father was the man. My father made the money, yes, he did. But my mother also went to work too. She worked 40 hours a week and stuff like that. And I asked my mother once, I said, Ma, why did you do all that stuff? And Dad didn't do anything. Like she was like, because I learned off my mother. She goes, and I did it. It wasn't because I felt like it was my role. She goes, you were my family, and I loved you. I loved my husband, and I loved you kids. And I wanted to give you guys the best home, regardless of whether or not I worked 40 hours a week. So, sorry, I keep getting calls. But
Hey, Bada, can you land your plane for me? Only because I'm trying to get Meerkat in, okay?
no problem. Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't know about what you guys mean about leverage or whatnot, because I was a loving husband. I did what I was supposed to do for my children. So what transpires after 30 years of marriage, and I hope that you guys never have to deal with that. But when you hear of stuff like that, it's kind of like a downer that you look and you say, wow, a whole lifetime with somebody from when you're young. Don't always think that it's gonna always be there. I was like that forever guy. Man, forever wasn't what it was.
Okay, Meerkat, how you doing, Meerkat? Meerkat, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you. I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button.
It's okay. Hey, welcome back. You didn't miss the show after all.
No, I didn't. No, yesterday, I don't know what happened yesterday. I woke up thinking it was Saturday. I went to my granddaughter's basketball game and school was going on. So, I mean, I'm like, and then it hit me, oh my Lord, it's Friday.
It's all right. Thank you. You were so respectful and kind last episode, so I'm glad to have you back. So, are modern relationships about love and leverage? You can basically say what you told me in the inbox, or you can say whatever you want. Go ahead, Meerkat.
Hey, yeah, leverage should never be a relationship builder or even the foundation. Love is respect. Leverage has a air of manipulation about it or ulterior motives. I don't think that should be a part of a relationship at all. Leverage is, to me, describes I got something over on you, so, and you're waiting with your ace card to throw it down, like if something doesn't go the way you think it should go. So I don't think it's, I see where it is possibly a modern day thing going on because so many relationships are not working. People have been hurt. There's a lot of hurt going on. There's a lot of need to be in control because you feel out of control for whatever reason. So that's just my thinking.
I mean, I think I'm thinking if it was about love, it wouldn't be all of this. It wouldn't be all of this. What you got, the question of what you bring into the table wouldn't be the factor. If it was about love, the question of what are you doing for yourself and these questions like what are you making or what do you have or how how stable are you? All of those things wouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You want somebody to have certain things and be in certain positions in order for your comfortability. And sometimes, and we talk of modern days. These are modern days, right? My man was talking about back in the day and all that, but modern day, you need leverage in order to. You need some sort of leverage. Not to say you're doing that on purpose, but you can't even get looked at. You wouldn't even get considered, in certain dating arenas, if you don't have certain things or if you ain't in a certain position. You know
What
what I'm
is your
saying?
definition of leverage? Because I'm 64. So to me, leverage is you've got something over on somebody or everybody because of who you believe that you are. So that can be taken different ways, I would think.
Yeah, it can. You're right about that. You're right about that. It
Oh,
can be
Kiara,
taken.
but wasn't you the one that said love don't matter and being like a man matters more?
I
Love
said
has to matter.
being a man matters more.
You
What?
have
I
something
mean,
over
in so many
somebody.
words,
That's
like what you was
leverage.
explaining to Jess earlier, you described that, okay, the woman can do all these things, but if I don't feel right in myself as a man, then I don't have to believe her or do none of that. So love was not involved in what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I was talking more about the leverage side, but also I didn't say to, dismiss or do away with love. I said we should have control over the love that we do have. I didn't say completely don't love. You know what I'm saying?
But you couldn't even give her a proper definition on what the question she was asking before she actually asked her question.
Man, I kind of forgot what that conversation was. She landed her plane and all of this and all of that. I'm not saying that love is not to be utilized and you are not to have love. I'm just saying you can't. It's something you should have control over. So you won't lose your sense of purpose, lose your sense of direction, your goals. You know what I'm saying? Because
How can
you
you
could fall
control
in
a
love.
woman love?
He was basically saying that emotions shouldn't alter a man's frame. That's what he's saying. I get what he's saying. He's saying that love is a
Yeah,
factor, but love shouldn't be like you don't want to do dumb things out of love. That's what he's saying.
I
right,
mean, a
right.
woman to
Because
The
marry a
only
man.
the only thing that bothers me about that is because he then also said the woman can prioritize the love. So if in general the love makes you more dumb, makes you more volatile, why would a smart man want to be with a woman who's prioritizing the more volatile version? Wouldn't he want her to also prioritize leverage, also prioritize forward thinking so
No, we're
they
not
can
the
be
same.
aligned together?
But
We're
she
not,
married him
we're
because she loved him. She didn't
we're
marry,
not the
so she shouldn't
same.
marry him for leverage
No, we're not
and love.
no.
I know your question,
I mean,
Beyond,
you
that you
do
had for
want
the
a
panel.
stable man. You do want a man that's in a position to be able to lead you if something goes wrong. You know, you do want a man to have certain things that will ultimately give you the security that you kind of want, which will make you more comfortable to be with him. You don't want him to lose sight in those things.
So I
You know,
gotta believe that
Yeah.
his sight and his well-minded is going to lead in the right direction. I gotta believe in him
Yes.
that
Because if
this
men
individual can do
prioritize
this and that nothing wrong is going to happen.
y'all should
when
believe in each other. I'm not saying that you should be a fool. A woman should do what she got to do too. And, I'm not taking that from her. If she feels she needs to be more, she needs a better a security position within herself. She needs to gain some things for herself. Depends on whatever it is that is for her. I'm not taking that from her.
So what if she wanted the same thing you had? Like you're the provider. She wanted to be the provider. She wanted to make more money than you, but you're still, her husband. But she like, okay, I know you're making 60K, but I want to make 100K. So I got these 2 degrees, and I'm finna go into 6 figures, even though you're in 4 figures. Would you still love her?
5 figures. What do you
If
mean
I
four
love her, I
figures?
love her. If I
Sorry.
love her, I love her. You know what I'm saying? If I love her, I love her. You know what I'm saying? That's something that sometimes you can't control that. Even if she making more money or not.
But you just say you could control it because you're not gonna let emotions get in the way of what is important to you.
You just said money. If she's making a certain amount of money, if she's basically more than you, can
Money
I
is
still love her?
leverage.
Can I still love her? Yes, I can still love her if she's making more money than me. Yes, there's a possibility of that. Yes.
Possibility, but not 100%.
I mean, nothing is 100%. She just because she's making more money than me doesn't mean that I'm incapable of loving her.
You're being very contradictory. You don't know exactly what you want, but you tune what you want to say to whatever conversation suits you best on this panel. That's what it sounds like.
That's how you feel. Okay.
Beyond, you said you had a question for everybody.
Yes, I did. I was going to ask, um, what do you guys think about attractiveness? Like, how does attractiveness function as a form of leverage in today's day and age? What do you guys think?
Hey, Beyond, real quick, I got to make an announcement, okay?
Go ahead.
All right, while everybody's on the stream, those who are on the panel and those who are listening, I will no longer be going live on Saturdays. This is the last Saturday that I'm going live. And so, due to me rebranding the show, Mr. Yarchat has officially resigned as being my co-host. So I'm taking all the responsibilities of the show. And so what I'm doing is something new. I'm trying to have there's background noise. Meerkat, I gotta mute you, okay? There's background noise.
Got it.
So what I'm trying to do is go live Tuesdays and Thursdays only. Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons. I have to rebrand the show. And the thing is that what I will do is per episode, maybe not every episode, but I will try to do is have a guest co-host. Like today, Beyonda is my co-host, and he was my co-host last episode. He did so great. And so for now on TikTok, because I still have other platforms that I, have to tend to. I have my YouTube, and so and I have a podcast, so it's a lot. And then also I have a day job, so there's a lot I have to juggle. So Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons, as usual, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 Central. Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons, 5th on TikTok. All right. Beyonda, you can go ahead and re-ask your question if somebody forgot. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we're talking about leverage, and this has been a really productive conversation for the topic. But I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think about attractiveness, and how does it function as a form of leverage? Because we've been talking about a lot of money this, money that, but how does attractiveness function as a form of leverage? What do you guys think?
This is physical attractiveness, right?
Yeah, you can say, physical attractiveness, because, men and women are different, so I don't know how you guys want to answer that. You can answer on both sides, but I just wanted to know about physical attractiveness, yeah.
Yeah, also, I would say that people... Oh, you want to go unique? Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm going to go after you.
Okay, so to me, this is a function of our programming. The term attractive is very subjective, but depending on who you're talking to, people just like what they like. That's a human experience, that they will be more lenient, they will have more patience for somebody that they like being around, that's attractive to them. And so I think you can have more wiggle room for that. But that's not a gendered experience. That's really anybody. If you're in front of somebody and they like the way you look, they like the way you talk, they like your energy, you're attracted to them, then you can. There's just more lenience.
I guess I'll say like this: how do men use their looks as leverage sometimes, and how do women do it? Because women and men use their looks differently. So I wanted to know, like, in your all's experience, like, how have you guys seen men use their looks as leverage over the women, and vice versa? How has the woman used their looks over the man as leverage?
Men do the same thing women do, though. There's men who are super attractive and they don't commit. There's women who are super attractive and they don't commit. There's men who are super attractive, like that guy who was a felon, and his mugshot got really famous, went viral. He out here making millions of dollars off of his looks. So I think both men and women just take advantage of what the programming is, which is that your looks and people finding you attractive can get you access to money and get you access to different resources. So maybe somebody else has a different experience where they think men do something different, but they really don't. Like, they really don't.
Honestly, beyond it's the money that gives men leverage, and it's the looks that gives women leverage because of what two different genders value more. We put looks on a certain level, and women put finances on a certain level. So it's not going to be equal. Uh, I'm sure that's probably the answer you're probably looking for, right, Beyonda?
Yeah, pretty much. Thank you for that.
Because
Can I answer?
yeah, go ahead, Unique.
No, go ahead, Fifth. You go ahead, and then I'll come right behind you.
Well, because the reason why I'm saying it is because, and it's not just my opinion. We could just go by statistics, man. And it's like this: if there are men who've been able to prove, oh, I got it, Jess. Just unmute. We gonna talk.
What you talking about?
Jess, we're gonna have a conversation, Jess.
Oh gosh, but Unique still has
Okay.
to talk though.
I'll let Unique talk. Unique definitely gets a mic time on my show. So, Jess, you're gonna challenge me on the fact that money works more in the favor of men as opposed to looks.
Yeah, I disagree with that to an extent.
Go ahead.
Because I know people like when they bring up like Cam Newton or all these people who have access to a lot of women. Those people are delicious to look at. Stephen Hawking, what's the other guy's name? Trump, right? $1 billion people. The women do not think they are generally attractive, right? They're not having buttloads of women. Hugh Hefner, even in his heyday, was seen as a generally attractive man. So his money was just an extension of his looks. Like he was able to use both in tandem, which is why I don't think it's that big of a stretch to say that men use their money over their looks. Because I don't think an ugly rich guy is getting the same pull that a beautiful Cam Newton is getting.
So, Jess, come on, Jess, you don't believe that.
No, I do. I literally think everything is programming. Nothing is real. Nothing is real.
Jess, okay. Jess, unmute, Jess. We talking now. Jess,
Not
now,
too much of
now.
me. Not too much of me.
That's okay. That's okay, Jess. This gets proven every time, Jess. Jess, would you date a man with no job?
No, I wouldn't.
No.
Beyonda, would you date a woman with no job?
Yes.
Jess, would you date a man with no job?
No job? No.
Beyonda, would you date a woman with no job?
Yes.
Look, this,
But again, that didn't
no.
prove anything, Fifth.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did,
It
Jess.
didn't, because Beyonder would not date a woman who was living under a bridge. He would not. So the idea of
If
no
she
money,
was fine enough, he would take her.
now
Jess,
Fifth,
if
you know
she,
there's
He would be
Jess,
the knight in
just let
shining
me,
armor to go
Jess,
rescue her.
right, Jess, let me tell you something. Jess, if she was fine enough, because I said looks here, right? Jess, if she was fine enough, he would take her home and give her a shower. You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
And again, that's a very extreme hypothetical, because Beyonder would not be going under a bridge to be entertaining women the same way he would be probably going to the bar, right? And he would be around other women who just generally looked attractive. He wouldn't want a project. So that example that you're giving to me is just very extreme, because tell me the last time Beyonder went under the bridge to find a mate.
Well, Jess, that's your extreme. So I just said no job. So the thing is that this is what I'm saying. In most cases, because we're talking about most, we're not talking about anecdotal.
Yeah.
In most cases, and yes, there is a stat, and it says that the priority for women at a 78% clip is financial stability. You know what the priority is for men?
What, children?
Well, that's in the top three, but what she looks like is usually at the top of the list. Her behavior is second. Her behavior should be first for marriage. But we're talking about initial attraction.
Hmm.
And so what I'm saying is that we see. Let me tell you something about men. Let's talk about the homeless part, right? Unique, funny. Do she got edges?
Hmm.
The thing about this, Jess, is that I think this could be proven with you. Jess, I've been to your page. You're
Hmm.
an attractive woman.
Well, thank you.
But guess what, Jess? If you didn't have your financial accomplishments and I don't know about your collegiate accomplishments, you would still get the same amount of tension. Now, I didn't say from the same type of guys, but you would definitely get the same amount of attention because they'll look at you. They don't even know what you look like yet. You could just be in the mall. When you're in the mall, don't nobody know what you got. We don't know what kind of money you got. We don't know what degrees you got. We don't even know if you even got any kids. But if we see you, it's on. Now let's talk about the guy who has money. A guy who has attraction, yes, is going to attract women. But as soon as she finds out that man is on welfare and food stamps, oh, that is going to change the trajectory on how she's going to even receive that man. Am I telling the truth or am I lying?
Are you asking me? Uh, Yeah, so what I wanted to say was, again, no job. That can be the picture that Beyond had in his head about no job. She could be in school. Maybe that was his picture and that's how he answered that. My picture of no job was a man living under a bridge. What I'm trying to say is that this idea of no job was so expansive that Beyonder's response and my response cannot be taken as the gospel truth about what men or women do in general. Because smart men would not want to be with a liability. He does care about if she got a job. He does care if she's getting fired all the time. He does care if she has $60,000 worth of credit card debt, but she's shaking her booty on Instagram in Dubai. Smart men care about that. So that's all I'm saying is
But
that they work in
Jess,
tandem.
you're talking about long term. Beyond this question was about attraction.
Well, no, because I think you posed a different question though about what do we care about more?
Yeah, yes, I did. I did ask, would you date a man with no job? And then I asked, because I'm talking about what's prioritized more. And what I was saying was that women do look, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with this, but to think that men and women are equal on the look scale is just not true, Jess, and you know that.
I can validate that that's how some of y'all feel. Yeah.
Some.
I'll validate that's how some of y'all. And I will also validate that you feel that way because of programming.
So is that some the majority or the minority?
It's some. It's some.
Okay, can I get a percentage of how much is some?
'Cause I'm still trying to look up the statistic you got because I love looking at the sample data size.
Yeah, look up the sample. Look up because we did a show. I did a show a few days ago, asking if women prioritize financial stability over character, and 4 sources came up.
Okay.
Beyond you could actually articulate your point because you can speak for yourself on how you answered that question.
For what, Thursday?
No, she said that. Remember what I asked you? Would you date a woman with no job? She said
Oh
that you're
yeah,
probably
yeah. What she was saying was correct. I mean, there's standards, of course. I wouldn't like. She's talking about the liability part. Yes, that she's correct about that. But like,
right in terms of long term, but we know that because I'm sticking to your original question in terms
yeah,
of how they can leverage. How can a man and woman use their looks for leverage? And Jess thinks it's equal.
No,
And me and you both know as men it's not equal.
it's not. Yeah, no, it's not. You said so. Hold on, let me
say one thing before, real quick. Fifth, you said something very interesting in the last panel. You said that men have to create their value, right? And women, I think, are born with value. So when women are at a certain age, they have value, right? When they're 18 and they're, relatively good looking, they have a golden ticket, right? Men don't get their ticket until like they are at a certain level financially or status wise. That's just how society sees it overall. I'm not talking about like how God sees it. That's a different conversation. But as society sees it, the values between men and women are different. So women are based on how they look, men are based on what they can provide. So if I'm a man who has money and the woman that I see doesn't have a job or like isn't like working like a high paying job, yeah, I would still date her, But I do have standards. I wouldn't date like someone under the bridge, I mean, no matter how good looking she was. And that's to Jess's point, right? There are standards that I have, I suppose. And, I wouldn't judge a woman if she didn't have the money, right? But men are definitely judging if they don't have any money or don't have a job. It isn't the same thing. Our attractions are asymmetric. So what I look for and what she looks for is way different. So I can deal with the woman not having any money and I still pay all the bills. But she can't, she can't do that long term. They will say that they'll take care of a man, but there's a time clock. But for a man, I can do that forever.
And the man here take the risk for the pursuit of cooperation. You know what I mean? She don't gotta have much, but if she's willing to cooperate, and that's when I use that word, I don't want nobody to get triggered. But cooperate is on both ends. It's cooperate. Both of y'all got to cooperate. So, but a man would take the risk just for cooperation. She don't actually have to bring anything. If beauty is what he wants, it will be his initial attractiveness, but ultimately he would want her to cooperate with him. You know what I'm saying? So, and if she don't bring that, then then it's dead. I mean, well, then it's unalived. You know what I mean? Like, what's the sense of dealing with somebody if they don't want to cooperate with you? And yeah, just like she even if he did pick her under the bridge, you probably want, and a man with a job is probably not all you want. You would probably want him to have a certain kind of job. He could have a job where he ain't making no money. Zero. But he's, you know what I mean? And that can be like, not really liking him. Yeah, he has a job, but he's not really the type of guy. He's not really doing the type of job that I would want him to do and making the type of money that I want him to make. And, it ain't just have a job. There's still standards on that have a job thing too.
Yeah, these are things that are entry level. I'm not talking about long term. Like if a girl's attractive, that'll get her a foot in the door. But if she's a bad person, I'm not taking care of her. No way. Now, if a woman is like maybe a 5 or a 6, but she's like wife material, then yeah, I'll take care of her because at least she's nice and she's able to cooperate. I just wanted to say that really quick. And then a fifth, just so you know, I do have, I think like maybe 2 or 3 questions for the open panel just to like keep the, talk going forward later on. I'm not sure how long you're going to be on live, but I just want to say that before I say anything else.
Yeah, I'm going to be on for another hour. It's cool.
Okay. But before we get into the open panel, we do have a new guest, Lyman Lux.
Can I answer your question, Beyond?
Oh, I'm sorry. You can go ahead. Yeah, I apologize.
Okay, so your question was...
Yes, my question was, how does attractiveness form as a function of leverage? Like, how does that work as leverage for both men and women?
Okay, well, I'm stating my answer. Can everybody tap the screen and like give hearts and stuff? Okay, so I have noticed, because women tell other women it's up to you to choose to be ugly or choose to be pretty. Pretty privilege is a real thing. And so when I like do my hair, right, and do my makeup or do all those girly things, do my nails, pedicure, manicure, and I go outside, I get a different reaction from men. Versus just like me going outside with some braids to the back, no none of that at all, like covered up and everything. don't know man, a couple men talk to me, but no man really want to talk to me. So it is really based off of how a woman looks if she get attention, and it is based off of what a man has will get attention, but also what men don't like. No, a woman will be with a broke man because she believes in potential. But if he is slinging and he got that, that extra inch thing, a woman will stay with him through everything because he is putting it down in the bedroom. So it definitely is a lot different, and a woman will date a man that is ugly because he got money. She will learn to love him and force herself to love him because he has money. He could be uglier than Flavor Flav, and she will. He got a lot of money though. Okay, I gotta make this work. I gotta make him feel important and everything like that. So she will use that leverage. If he has self issue, like he don't think that he look fine, or she'd be like, no babe, you look good. Hype him up to be with him just to get the money. So I have dated ugly people because they had money and it worked out and I got what I wanted. And then when I didn't want them no more, I just dipped.
Okay. Thank you for your response. Thank you for your response about that.
That's why you gotta watch them.
I'm telling you, brother. Hey, listen. Unique's honesty is look. Unique's honesty. I know it can trigger a lot of people, but that's what's out there. Not all, but Unique is honest, yo. She's honest, and that's a problem. You know what I mean? But it's all about what you do when you come across her honesty. You know what I'm
That's why
saying?
you gotta make them work. You gotta make them work. You gotta make them invest. You know what I'm saying? Because all of that extra she just said just
Everything that
now,
tends
you gotta
to a
make them
conversation that
invest.
you like, you tend to market it in the corner of what you want to say. Okara. We know
I
that.
don't know. I mean, you just said an honest truth that all
I,
men need to be aware of. So
okay, and
I
if
think that I think that that's why you got to make them invest based on what your honesty just now. Oh, definitely, that is a red flag for all men to be able to be aware of. You have to know that a woman will use you until she's done with you. You need
but
to know that, and
you
that's what
wasn't
you
on
just
here
said you
earlier,
do.
but I described how I could hide it from a man and he won't even know I'm using him, because even
Exactly.
though he thinks he's that smart, I'm a lot smarter because it was men that came before him that showed me different ways of how they was going to use me. And so they wanted tradition. I used tradition as a weapon and got what I wanted. They
And
wanted
use them.
50-50. I used 50-50 to get what I wanted. You would be an example of the other men that I have used in different ways, and I'll figure out what type of woman you want and become her, even though I'm not her, just to get everything I can out of you. And then your mental health will be in the trash, and you will be trying to understand what happened and why you've left.
And that is why, listen, and that is why you do not put love above the leverage thing. And at the same
It
time,
won't be
you
love
you
because you
can't
don't actually value love. It would be
all of
what
that.
you
I
value,
do
and I will
value
use your
love.
values against you. You won't even
let,
know it's happening.
Look,
let
you
me say
making
something.
Yeah, let Adam, you can go ahead and talk. Go ahead, Adam. It's been a
I was
while.
going to say, just in response to Unique's statement, you're really not fooling anybody. A lot of
no,
the times, a lot of the times, a lot of things are sunk cost. A lot of things are the price of doing business. Okay, um, that person might not have any long term designs. Oh, it cost me a couple of $100 to take her out here and there. Take her on vacation a couple of times, weigh what I'm getting versus what it costs. Hey, I'll pay the dime. It's not that big of a deal. You know, the point is when people are disrespectful to people, people don't mind being used. Okay. Everybody realizes that to some degree that that's how life, you rub up against other people, you gain benefits, you give benefits. If somebody else can get some benefit out of me getting what I want, hey, more power to them. I'm happy for you. That's what makes life workable. Right. I mean, can you imagine me going into every situation? I've got to win, and you've got to get up from the table and walk out into the cold naked. Not very many people want to do business with you that way, right? But that's just all it is. It's business. It's not a relationship. I don't care anything about you. You get sick, I move on. You get hit by a bus, I never heard of you. I just block your calls. You know,
Okay,
those.
so Adam, what I'm saying is if you get sick and you're in a hospital, right, and you're not really sure about if I really care about you or not, I'm gonna show up to the hospital and I'm going to nurse you back to health. I'm also going to be draining your bank account in the process because you are in an emotional, mental state. And so I know you're not thinking about the money at the moment, but you're thinking about me nursing you back to health and you're looking at how good of a job I'm doing and how I'm by your side and everything like that. And so 6 months down the line, I'm like, you know what? I know it's me. You are a really good man. And I was able to nurse you back to health and be that woman for you, but I don't deserve you. I'm going
Unique.
to leave.
And
Unique.
that's
Can I
I
can
don't
I tell
deserve
you a
you.
truth?
obviously you're
You're
not a
never
good
going
woman.
to
You're
you're
not a
never
good
going to
woman.
drain a
Wait,
man's bank
hold on,
account.
hold on.
Oh,
Wait, hold on. Before we get into this, I want
That's
to
my
keep it
opinion.
going. Hold on. Lyman Lux, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
I apologize for the wait. All right, sorry. So this is the Beyonder talking. I'm the co-host of today's show. This is Fifth's channel. Couple of ground rules: no cursing and no foul language. I have respect for everyone here in the panel. And then the question today is: are modern relationships about love or leverage? You can go ahead and respond, and then after you, Pleasure will go, and then we'll go ahead and resume open panel. So go ahead.
Yeah, I think modern relationships are majority about leverage, for sure. And I think even the conversation that we're having that was just preceding before I spoke is like an example of how that negotiation ensues. From what I can tell, there's not really much of a desire for true connection, often in relationships, and deep connection at that. It's more about like the transactional level of relationships, and then once it begins to be transactional, the person's trying to use whatever leverage they have to get the most out of the other person by giving the least. And that is what I see as happening in the majority of times in modern day relationships. But here's I actually want to ask this question, particularly to possibly Unique, is what would you say is the reason why people, well, actually, let's say women specifically, are not willing to have the transaction happen in a transparent, candid way? Like why do you think that women tend to avoid that type of thing? Like to have the transaction be transparent and upfront?
Okay, before Unique answer that, Pleasure, welcome back. You already know the rules. If you're there, you can go ahead and respond, and after that, Unique, you can respond to his question. Okay.
First and foremost, good afternoon. Hope everybody's having a great weekend today. It took me a minute to try to wrap my head around this prompt because I'm of the mindset that you leverage what you have to get the love that you seek. But it sounds like when the conversation moves more towards a transaction, people are entering into relationships focusing on what they can get instead of what they can give. And in that sense, it is very much more about leverage. You're trying to gain something from someone instead of entering in a relationship, asking yourself, what can I give this person? How much of them can I offer? How can my presence improve their life? And it's a sad reality that we live in, that so many people focus on what can I get when dealing with each other. It highlights very clearly why so many relationships are failing, why so many marriages end in divorce, why there's this gender war that continues to perpetuate. The selfishness and the selfish nature of individuals seeking love from other people is absolutely profound and heartbreaking. So to answer the prompt, it seems like leverage is something anybody ever really cares about nowadays. And it really, really just makes me sad. That's it.
All right, Lyman Lux, thank you for that response, Pleasure. Appreciate that. Lyman Lux, you can go ahead and ask your question to Unique, and Unique, you can respond to that. So go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's fine. So why do women typically, like as in your example, prefer to do the transaction covertly rather than transparently? Why do you think that women tend to go for that method of doing the transactions versus a upfront, above the board model of the transactions?
Because if I told you that at the beginning, if I told you that I will never love you, I will never actually submit to you, I will never believe in your mind to provide for us, because even though you are a man and you physically stand in front of me, I will never actually believe in what you are to believe that you think that you are that thing. Instead, I am going to do the complete opposite. I'm going to treat you like the man, the king that you are. I'm going to go with the ego that you believe in of yourself, and I am going to ride that to the end. I'm not going to let you know what I'm doing, but since you wanted to come in my life and bother me and I accepted it, I see it as an opportunity. It's your turn. It doesn't mean that, I'm sticking by you. It just means that you're the next runner up.
I guess I that
Maybe
was
just what
almost that was kind of, I guess, like I'm gonna try to extract what I think you were saying in there. Are you saying that if you were to transact explicitly instead of covertly, if you were to be upfront with the transaction, that you wouldn't yield as much out of it?
Right, because most men want traditional relationships. Most men want to be the king. Most men want a woman to listen to them. They want to be the provider. They want to be, raw, all that. So if I told you the truth and you weren't able to become those things and that dream that you believe of the man you were, then I just messed myself up. You wouldn't want to be with a 3 or 4. You would want to be with a woman that's submissive and, that you could potentially see becoming your wife. So if I act the part of that woman and you won't know that I'm acting, but I know I'm acting, I'm true to myself. I'm just not true to you.
But
that's why
why?
you ain't supposed to marry her ass.
But why is so? That's why that works practically. But why, from a conceptual level, do you choose the path to maximize how much you get out of the transaction? Because somebody, like, you don't have to like choose that. You can say we're gonna transact evenly, or maybe that you get less out of it, or you can say I'm going to get more out of it, or you could even say I'm going to maximize the amount of extraction. Why do you choose to approach it from maximizing the amount that you get out of the transaction?
Because I can't trust that you're actually going to tell me the truth, because you're not. You're going to hold stuff back from me that I need to know. And the only way that I'm able to access that, if I become the woman that you want me to be, then I'm able to access those different levels. Because a relationship is different levels. So that person has to like you. Then they learn to love you. Then they learn your flaws and the good and bad things about you. If I'm not going up in levels, I'm not going to really get that open part of you that I need.
So, how do you tell whether this is a narrative of your own ego projection versus reality?
Reality, I know that I don't want to be in a relationship. Reality, I know that I would not make a good relationship person or be a wife, because I don't want to be traditional. So I would choose what I don't want and become that woman of what society deems fit and what that man deems fit to get what I want.
That's a little bit of an extension of the narrative itself, though. It's like, so, like, regardless of you wanting to be in a relationship and what society wants, there's still, like you said, that you can't trust that they're going to be honest about their end of the transaction. And I'm
Right.
saying, like, so that could be true or false. So if it were to be shown that that is false, how would you go about showing that it's false?
I mean, how I go about proving that it's false, I'm never going to actually give it a chance. I'm just going to go off based off what I have seen. I'm going off of based of data of what I have seen, what I have been through, what I have done, what men that I see, all of that. I'm not going to actually give that person a fighting chance and be like, you know what, you're going to be honest. You're going to tell me what's really up. You're going to be this honest man. I'm never going to believe that. So I'm going to lead with lies and deception and manipulation anyway.
Can I
But
ask a question?
Hey, before you go, you notice how never mind, I won't do that. Go ahead, pleasure.
Unique, it sounds like you have learned how to navigate a pit of vipers extremely well. But has it ever occurred to you to get out of the pit and start dealing with a different caliber of individuals? Or have you convinced yourself that all men are just vipers and you deal with them accordingly?
I deal with them accordingly, but I am not dating. I don't date because of the type of mind that I have, and I really don't want to put anybody, emotionally through that, and I don't want anybody to have to go to therapy because of me. So because I know that how I feel about society, and a lot of men would be like, "Oh, you're hurt, trauma and everything." I went to therapy and did all the healing. I'm just taking what I know and converting it into what a man is going to tell me, because I can listen and I understand human emotions well, and I understand the ego basic of relationship. So a man gonna tell me the type of woman he wants, and then I'm going to become that, and I'm going to extract as much as I can out of him, and then I'm going to discard him, and he's going to be very confused on what happened, and he's going to try to make it right because he's going to feel like it's his fault, and the loop continues.
Y'all
So,
listening to an actual textbook narcissist. You gotta understand. This is an actual narcissist that's talking right now. This is not a game. This is exactly what they do. This is why what she's describing, the type of person she's describing, is someone who she did send a lot of people to therapy, and she knows that. She knows she broken mad men down. She weakened mad men. This is what she does. This is a part of her ego. This is something. She has a lack of self-value in order for her to do that intentionally. She don't love herself. There's something empty about her to do these type of things or to engage in that act. She doesn't have any self-value within herself. She doesn't love herself the way
No,
she's
I love
supposed to.
myself very
No, she
much,
don't. No, you don't.
Okira.
No,
I
you don't.
do.
You do not.
I
I
do
know you
it.
don't.
No, I do. I do it
No, you don't.
because it's fun. It's a
You had,
game. I get to
yeah,
learn. I get to understand.
exactly. And you had a bad childhood.
I'm trying. No, I had a 2-parent household.
Yeah, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. Your
Okay, I'm trying
childhood
to
was
explain.
okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not saying that, I know how I am. I'm not dating at all. I don't date at all. I'm saying the type of person that I had become. So I stopped dating because you shouldn't do that to somebody. I know right and wrong. I know what it comes off as, and I know when you break it down in extreme the way I broke it down, it sounds terrible to do that to somebody. And so karma is real, okay? And I don't do that because I will meet a person that is better at it than me, and they will break me down, which has happened, and why I have stopped, because being on the other end of that and feeling that, you like, oh my God, I did not know that I was doing this to other people. Or you did know and you didn't know that it was that severe. You gonna meet somebody that's way better at it than you, or better at it than you. But I have self-confidence. I have self-worth. I love myself. I grew in a 2-parent household. I just seen the dynamic of, my mom being the person that stays at home and my dad being the person that provides, and lights was never cut off or anything like that. We lived a really good life. And I wanted his job that he had. I was like, yeah, I want to be the provider. But I didn't know that until I kept trying to be my mother in relationships. And I was like, okay, I'm going to love you through the end. I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to be a ride or die. I was that for a while. And I was like, wait a minute, this ain't working. And people were like, oh, it's based on what type of man you choose or whatever. No, the dynamic stayed the same. But I could be friends with a man. I just can't date one, because I'm going to turn it into a game. I love being a listener. I will sit there and listen to you, and I will understand who you are. We will have deep conversations. It is all part of it. I
It's
would
part
do
of the
it.
game.
Yeah, but I enjoy it.
You
So since I
enjoy it to
enjoy it and it's
manipulate.
evil, I
You
don't
enjoy
do it.
it.
I'm not in
It
a
is evil.
relationship. I
No,
don't
I have a
date.
question.
It is evil.
I have a
And
question
you do
though.
it to manipulate.
This is important. This is important. You said it's a game and you love it. But I want you to connect that with the idea that you said you're not dating now because you decided that it's not good hurting people. So what is the game that you love, that you are still participating in, or are you referring to you love this game that you've quit?
I love the games that
Self-preservation.
I quit.
Self-preservation, Lux.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Unique. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, because I'm trying to explain to him, but I don't think I'm explaining it right. So I think if a man explain it, then they would get it.
Well,
Self-preservation. That's what she's doing. That's why she paused when you said that. That she is trying to preserve herself. She's afraid to tap into her true feelings and emotions. She's afraid she's going to be hurt, broken down. She doesn't have. She's not strong in a lot of areas.
I
She's
said fifth,
afraid.
not you, Otera.
I think you're very afraid of a real, genuine relationship. I
No,
think
I
you are
don't have
afraid to
any
love.
emotions or feelings, is what I'm saying. I
You
don't
say
get
you
that. I
don't
don't
have what?
understand that you don't get that. I don't have emotions for a man. I don't have
Okay.
feelings for a man.
So you're
Those
not.
don't exist for me.
So you more. You had. Oh, okay. So you're not interested in men. You shouldn't be dealing with men.
No, no,
Are you
Okara,
interested in women?
Okara, you're missing what she's saying.
Oh my
You
God.
called her a
Somebody please explain to
narcissist
him.
earlier. She's not a narcissist, she's a sociopath. Her
Okay.
emotions and her
there it
empathy do
is.
not exist.
Thank
She does
you.
not have the emotional capacity to maintain and form good connections when it comes to emotions. So
She's a
because she lacks that capacity, she looks at these interrelationship dynamics as a game. She's playing a game. She's a sociopath. That's
She's a
all it is.
sociopath. Okay.
Okira, you want a good Hollywood example of a sociopathic woman? Watch the movie Gone Girl.
Gone Girl. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the sociopath and the narcissist. Some people do get them mixed up because you think that
They share
they.
similarities clinically though. Yeah, they
Gone
share
what?
similarities. Yeah. But hey, Beyonda, hold it down for me. I gotta get ready to go to work, all right?
All right.
So
Yonder, can we go to
Have
your other
action,
questions?
sis.
Because I would love to get off this.
Oh yeah, I have another question. Yeah.
All right.
Yonder, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. My question is, do you guys think that love can exist without power dynamics?
Yes, it can.
I can talk. I can go ahead and talk if you want to.
Without
Yes, it
power
can. Why does somebody have to have power? If you're confident, you know who you are, you know what you believe, you stand firm, you stand tall in your beliefs and how you conduct yourself. Why is power? Maybe that's a silent power that you have. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like there's like what Meerkat said. I think there's a difference between trying to exert power over somebody and then just having the power to do something in the relationship. Because like submission, right? Submission is only for husbands. And if we're talking biblically, the word hapattasso that's used to describe submission, it was when soldiers voluntarily yielded to a higher authority, which was usually the general, because out of respect. It was a voluntary submission, a voluntary yielding. So I think there's a difference, right? So that general had power, but he had power because the soldiers saw him as a leader and they respected him, and therefore they had the agency to say yes or no. So I think there is a difference between the power being exerted over somebody like Mussolini did, and then you being given the power because your woman respects you.
Yes, I think that if a woman has power in a relationship, in the right relationship, a good relationship, women have power. And if they wield that power correctly, that man will slay dragons and lay them at her feet. Women have that power.
Beyonder, can you ask the question one more time? Because I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
All right, y'all can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, my question was, can love exist without power dynamics?
All right, so my answer is yes, because I feel love is a verb. It's an action. It's something that you do, not just something that you feel. And whether or not that person has any power should not be an indicative to the action that you show or display. I think that power dynamics do have their place in relationships, but to say that love is contingent on a power dynamic, I think is false.
That's true.
I agree with everything he just said just now. That
Yes, I
like
do
nipped it
too.
all. That nipped it all in the bud.
Yep.
I can bet who disagrees with that.
I disagree.
Who disagree with that? I want to know who that is.
Me.
Who, you? She disagree?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we know you a sociopath though, so we ain't even got to worry about.
Regardless, you don't need power to have love.
Well, he
Because
just said that.
I don't have to love you. I mean, I don't it's a choice to love you, but I'm saying though, like, if that person is not based off of like the power of the gender roles and they just like, I'm doing this because I love you. I'm doing stuff to them because I love them. But that's what that's what I'm showing them. I'm doing this because I love you. I stay up late and talk to you because I love you. I'm coming to pick you up from work because I love you. I'm doing these things because I love you. So it's not a power in their eyes, but I know that because they require love, it's a power in my eyes. They just don't see it.
So your entire premise was false because A, we've already identified that you're a sociopath, which means you don't have the
Regardless,
capacity for
before,
love.
if y'all didn't even know that
Hold
I
on,
was,
hold on,
I'm
hold
saying
on,
though, like, I just disagree
hold
with what
on.
he said.
What you're doing is not out of love. What you're doing is out of manipulation. You
But they
know that
think
you're
it's
doing
love.
what it doesn't matter what they think. You know what you're doing is not love. So for you to sit here as a sociopath and say, I'm doing this out of love, you know is a lie. You
Calm
don't
down.
have the capacity to love.
But they
Because if you
believe
did,
it's love. That's what
you're
counts.
focusing on the wrong part of the story, love, and I need you to pay attention. You lack the capacity to love someone. So whether or not they identify it as such, it doesn't matter. You know what you're doing isn't love. And that's the line. That's where it stops. So regardless of how they see it, you know what you're doing is not love. You're manipulating them, and you sound like you do it extremely well, but
Thank
don't
you.
call it love.
I don't do it anymore, but I'm probably like really rusty at it, but I don't do it anymore. I have
What
retired.
what made you retire? That's what I don't know of the story. What made you retire?
I got sick of seeing men cry and
What
being
why?
like, okay, so I got sick of seeing men cry, and two of them tried to kill me because of what happened. So I was like, okay, I'm stop.
Wait, so okay, that's interesting. So there was some type of corrective. There was you had some self correction to a certain degree because the consequences caught up to you.
Yes, the
But
consequences did catch up to me.
yeah, but I guess like you identify the actions that led to the consequences, but not the root of it.
So the actions that led to the consequences, I was the opposite of that beforehand. Like for years, I was the opposite of the sociopath that they explained on here. I was the person that would stick by you through anything. It didn't matter if you had money, if you didn't have money. We was gonna make it together. I was gonna build a foundation with you. I was gonna love you to the end of the earth. If I had to give my life and lay down for you, I was going to do that. I was that type of person. And then I switched.
Okay, but so the lesson, I guess what are you saying that you tried and you didn't get the results that you wanted, so you switched up the strategy, but that's a second step, but then the third step is then you retired. So like I guess
Yeah,
I'm trying
like
to parse those.
I was the first person, like I was super loving, super all that. I wasn't manipulative, I wasn't lying, I was genuine. And I tried and tried and tried and tried and tried and tried and tried different calibers of men, different types of, different all types, right? And nothing seemed to work. I was in therapy. I did relationship therapy with the people that I was in a relationship with, And I was just like, okay, this is not working. And then I did the opposite and I was getting a whole lot of
Wait,
things.
wait.
And
Clarify what it means to work. You say it wasn't working. What does it mean to work?
it
Wait,
wasn't work.
wait before you get there. Unique said she had therapy. Hey, did you get shock therapy?
No. Phil, I knew he was gonna say that. No. I was in CBT therapy. I was in talk therapy. I was in emotional, like it was emotional therapy, like being open with my feelings and more open with my feelings. And I realized that it was a facade because if I am vulnerable with a guy, he will put me through everything. And so I stopped being vulnerable. I start showing that I start acting like I was vulnerable, and I gave the man all the control, but I'm sitting back knowing that I'm pumping up his head and pumping up his ego and everything, and he is eating this up. And I'm just like, yeah, baby, I love you. Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything unless you say I'm gonna do it. Like I'm gonna change my outfits and she don't like it. I'm doing all these things that he want me to do, but he don't actually have no control because I'm gonna snatch it back as soon as I don't like it no more. Now, the other part of it is crazy because I can be friends with a man to the end of the earth and I won't do none of these things to him, but I cannot be in a relationship.
But you still haven't clarified. What does it mean to work? You said it wasn't working. What does it mean to work?
Oh, it wasn't working where like the relationship was lasting to marriage because I was dating to marry for a while.
Wait a second. Okay, so let's analyze this. No, because you said it wasn't working because it didn't last till marriage. Probability speaking.
It wasn't going to marriage. Like I was dating to marry. The other person was clarifying that they was dating to marry, but we was having all these issues.
Yeah,
It never worked out where, we would get down to the line of marriage, like I'll be their fiance, but it's like, okay, we still ain't married though.
But when framed that way, you can only have one that works.
Well, I've been proposed to 5 times.
Yeah, but is that working by your definition, or is that not working? Just because
No,
you got a
it wasn't
proposal.
working at that time. Like we never got to the altar at that time before I switched over.
Wait. So does working mean that you get married or that the marriage lasts?
Working means that I'm get to be married. Like I'm going to get there. Working with the other person, the dynamic of a partnership, a companion. I'm working with this person on an equal level. I'm not manipulating them. I'm genuinely loving them of the type of person they are. I'm accepting their flaws and I have no manipulation behind it. I am just a hoping 100% vulnerable with them.
Yeah. So by that definition, wouldn't that mean that you can only have one relationship do that?
No.
But how would you have? So if you got a relationship like that, it would end.
Yeah, it did end. It didn't work. That's why I switched and became something else.
But that means that it wasn't working. I'm asking you what working mean.
But see,
That's
Lux,
what I'm
right?
saying.
Lux, she says she switched and became something else. No, she just went to default settings.
Yeah, and she, I think you're struggling because you'll say something that this is what working is, and then you'll say it didn't work, and I'm like, well,
I'm
what?
saying, okay, I was person A, right? I was person A who was genuine, who didn't do all the things that person B did. So because person A was dating to marry and before to carry and all that, I was that person. Person A wasn't getting no results. So person A was doing the right thing, working. And then person A didn't see no results of actually getting married to her husband and having a supportive family and sticking by my husband and following the traditional roles of having a traditional marriage. That didn't happen for person A. So person B became person B, and then I start being the person who I would unleash control. I would tell them, yes, you're getting my vulnerabilities, you're getting my control, you're getting these things. You are the man. I am definitely here for your ego. I'm here for your dreams, all that. Even though I was not, I was lying and manipulating him to get everything I could out of him to make him trust me. So when he was trusting me more, when he started doing things that I could not handle anymore, like just say he snore, just say when he go in the bathroom, he making sounds, just say we got to the point where we was living together and I just could not deal with seeing him every day. I would leave, but he would be so deep into the relationship. The man at the time for who I was dating when I became person B would be so deep into the relationship when I was dating him, he wouldn't understand why I just left. Because
Hey,
everything was
Lux.
going good on his part.
Hey, Lux, are you familiar with the movie? Are you familiar with the Predator series?
Like Alien versus Predator kind of Predator?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes.
What are predators good at? What is the predator race abilities? What are they good at?
Camouflage.
Yeah, camouflage. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now for the aliens, the xenomorphs, what is their behavior?
I can't remember actually.
Okay, so their behavior is way more primal and savage. So they don't. So they are more apex in the sense that they really can't really hide their nature. But a predator can cloak and hide in the trees for hours and maybe days before they land their attack. So the point that I'm making is Unique is not necessary. She's not the xenomorph. She would be the predator because she's able to become what we call a chameleon. And you know what chameleons do, right?
Yeah, shapeshift basically.
Right. They blend. Right. They can blend in. Unique is basically telling you that she could basically conform as long as she's the victor. And she knows that her game has an expiration date. This is why she has to work within that limited time frame to get what it is that she wants.
Till they figure out what's going on.
Right. And by then it's too late, Meerkat.
Exactly.
And that's the point
That's
that
why
she's making.
Right.
you gotta
So,
make them invest.
but the thing is, if you switch the person, right, if you go from person A to person B, and now you say it's working, that's assuming that person A and person B have the same goal, right? And if person A, person B has the same goal and person B gives you that desired goal and results, why would you then retire?
Okay, person A believed in love, believed in honor, believed that it could work, believed. Person B does not believe in nothing. Person B knows that the person that I'm in a relationship with believes in love, wants marriage. He wants these things. He told me what he values. So I'm using his values against him as a weapon. Is what I'm saying. I am a chameleon. I know how to conform into the woman he wants. But I will truly, I know me and I know the inside of me and I know where my heart lies. I will never be the woman that he actually wants, but I can conform into her.
So
I can
the
be a
goals,
chameleon.
so the goal changed.
But Lux, I could
There
actually
was
help
never,
with this.
for
Unique,
me, it was never a goal.
unique peep game. Actually, Lux, I can help with this. This is brother speaking to brother.
Mhm.
When a tiger has dental problems, like their teeth is like something's going on with their teeth where they can't actually chew the same food they do anymore, they still eat, but you know what they do as they age? They get prey that's a little weaker and a little easier to chew. So Unique actually really necessarily hasn't retired. She has aged. And so what she is doing is basically waiting for something that she could actually sink her teeth into, being that there's been some adjustments to her options. But who she is still who she is.
And I think that's the part that Lux is tripping himself up on. You're assuming that she was once this person who wholeheartedly embraced the ideologies of traditionalism when it came to marriage and relationships. That's not true.
I was.
She No, you were
I
pretending
was
to be that
That's
person
person
because,
A. I
hold
was
on,
that person at first.
hold on. You were pretending to be that person because you thought that person was going to get the results that you desired. But after so many failed attempts, you stopped pretending to be that person and turned into your true form and became this sociopathic, manipulative
Person B.
committer. You didn't change, you just embraced who you truly are. And in the beginning, you believed, if I am this way, if I am that traditional wife, if I behave in this manner, then it's going to get me a husband into the altar. You found out that that was a fallacy. So instead of changing into someone else, you just said, fuck it. I'm sorry. My apologies, bro. You just said, screw it. I'm going to be true to my nature and just start operating at default and use these men before they hurt me.
Pleasure, are you the same guy as Wolf the Facts on Facebook?
I am not.
You sound just like him, and your attitude. Y'all sound the
He,
same.
he sounds like an amazing brother.
He really is. Go look him up on Facebook. Wolf the Facts, something. Anyway.
Unique, what's your counter argument to what Pleasure said?
My counter
Nothing.
argument to it is that I grew up in a two-parent household, so I seen who my mom was, and I tried to be that in relationships because I felt that's how I was raised to be. That's how I was raised to be, nurture, love, all that. I was raised that way, and so I proceeded in that way out in the world, and I was person A for a long time, for years and years and years. And I became person B because person A was not getting the results. And so person B, I stopped caring. I stopped loving. I stopped doing anything. And I became the woman that they wanted me to be. But I had no intentions on ever loving them back. I had no intentions on actually genuinely being there for them. I would sit in the hospital room with a person that was in a car accident, nurse them back to health, but I didn't give a damn about them.
Okay, so let's break it down like this. What if you were person A plus B, and then you just deploy person A, and then you deploy person B, but you were both the whole time?
She's person B. Person A is the representative.
Yes, yeah, no, I get it. I'm trying to like speak to her modality. I like, but I'm just saying like how to.
Person B is who she is.
Yeah.
B's right. B is who I am. A is who I perceive up front to the guy.
Right.
I want y'all to understand that she's very. She knows how to speak. I want you to pay attention to how she speaks. You notice how she's able to remain frame, not yell, not scream, not and not even overtalk. You know why? Because that particular energy that she gives off doesn't come off wildly aggressive like a roaring lion. And
She's a
more
serpent.
so, thank you. Who said that?
She's a serpent.
There you go. And that's why that game has been able to work. Because there are a lot of men out there that are not up on that type of game. So her game works for certain kind of men. And there's a lot of simps, suckers born every day that has worked on. You just heard her say whether she was telling the truth or not. I'm gonna take her word for it. She said that she was engaged rings than LeBron James, or about the same. You know.
How do you learn how to?
Tiff, you breaking up real bad.
How do you learn to be this B person and carry it out so
Like we were
I don't
saying earlier,
understand.
she's a
Because I love to
she's a
understand
sociopath.
people. I
Hey,
love to learn
really?
people
Hey,
and
hold
know
on.
people. Like I love that aspect of it.
Wait, hold
Getting
on.
to know somebody means a lot to me. Get understanding who they are and where they come from means a lot to me
Hey, one
because it
second.
is.
Did we get to James yet? Did James you speak yet
Go
or
ahead,
no?
James. Sorry.
No, not yet.
Sorry, James. I had you on here. I'm sorry. Welcome to the panel. I'm the co-host Beyonder. This is Fifth Channel. Couple of ground rules: no foul language, no cursing. The prompt today is: are modern relationships about love or leverage? You can go ahead and respond.
Okay, so maybe I can tie what I've heard in the prompt into this same speech. So I identify with her a lot. Me and her have a similar story. I grew up with a two-parent household. Both my parents were preachers. I think I got my heart broke when I was 13, 14. By the age of 15, I studied people intensely, like almost like you, like I probably went to college for it. This is when I was still in high school. I would read all of the psychology books. I would understand people. I would study con artists. I would study anything that had to do with manipulation because I got my heart broke by a girl. I became, at the age of 19, I became a PI. If people understand what that is, you can put the MP on it if you want. I did that for about 15 years. And what happens when I think all relationships have always been transactional, right? We're all looking for something, and like some person may be looking for to feel safe. Someone may be looking for financial stability. Some person may be looking for status. But I think that all relationships are transactional. And as I was listening to her talk, my mind is getting blown because I never actually met anybody who understood that deep, that level of manipulation. Honestly, I've talked to a lot of women. I used to have a quota of talk to 250 women a week when I was in the game. And one of the things that blow my mind is that most people don't understand how deep it can really get when somebody really wants to manipulate you. But the interesting part about it, and I don't want to ramble, so I'll land here. I think the interesting part about hearing all of this is that most times the reason why somebody like her is so dangerous is because she's really not manipulating people. She's giving them the transaction that they want, right? So it's like if you want somebody to be your caretaker and she gives that to you, she's like, okay, I'll give you that. But then in exchange, she's just like, I want what I want. And it is not as, pure as yours. So this conversation is just blowing my mind. I didn't expect to hear all of this. I'll land there and then I'll just jump in because it's so much to say and I just don't have enough time to say it. So I'll just let people just rip me apart or whatever. We can go from it. Here, I'll land there.
Yeah, I think that would still be manipulation. And perhaps each thing in and of itself is not manipulation, but the underlying current is what causes it to be manipulation. That is of deception.
But
So like
like I
that,
love the process of it. Like that's my biggest thing. I love the process of it. That nurturing part of me is still there. Like I can do all those things that a man desires from a woman. I could become the woman he wants because he's going to tell me what he wants. And then understanding human emotion, psychology behind it, I play out 4 different scenarios of how it would go. And so he creates the path for me to understand him on a deeper level, with him being more open, more honest with me and trusting me. And so that gives me the data that I need to proceed it, how far I want to take it. And then when I up and leave, he thought everything was going perfect and I leave him because I just don't want to do it anymore. I got bored or whatever. It's over. It's nothing he can do. So then the loops continue because he's trying to figure out what happened and he's going to do anything he can to get my love back because I gave him such a profound love. He didn't even know he was being manipulated because I was being person A, even though I'm actually person B.
Do you realize that that's a defense mechanism, though, Unique?
I wouldn't say it's a defense. I don't realize that it is a defense mechanism. I don't look at it as defense. I look at it as enjoying the process because I really do like the process. Genuinely, I really love the process of getting to know a person because it's like, okay, I thought I was at a level of getting to know you, and it's deeper. I
Well, two
didn't. It
two
go
things two things
from
could be true, right? You can
Right.
love the process, and then also like the control that it gives you, where you know at the end of the day, I'm not going to be the one hurt in this situation.
right, and so they end up getting their heart broke, and I know that's gonna be the end of it. That they are gonna get their heart broke when they find out she was never the person I thought she was, and then it's over with once you get your heart broke. Unless you want
Hey,
to walk
hey,
around too.
hey, I gotta. Hey, hold on one second. Hey, Beyonda, do not let any more men up at this
I
point
was thinking the same
because we
thing.
have,
Yeah.
we have an unbalanced panel. So, well, the next person who wants to come up has to be a woman. Okay.
Yes. Yes, sir.
All right, y'all can continue.
Yeah, go ahead, guys. You guys are good.
Well, as far as like, I want to point this out, right? Because I think people need to understand that even for myself, and when I hear you talk, it is a defense mechanism because what you guarantee is that you will never be hurt, right? You guarantee that you're always in control, even when people think they have control. You're like, well, at the end of the day, I'm not going to lose in this situation because I've been there. I know how that feels. I never want to feel that again. And I think the difference between me and you is that I've learned, like, okay, if I'm ever going to have anything authentic with a person, I have to kind of shift this somewhat. It's not that I don't look for control and want to understand that I'm not going to get hurt. It's just that I know that there's somebody out there that I have to be vulnerable with, right? Because other than that, what is life for, right? You want to be loved and love somebody authentically. Like, you don't just want to go through the life just getting over on everybody. So
Okay.
I would say that'd be the difference.
So James, the other part that you're missing about this is that I don't desire a companion. So as far as me protecting myself and defense mechanism of me getting hurt, I don't desire to actually be in a relationship. That is the foundation of it all. So it's just I'm having a good time right now, and the person that is, they got chosen at the time. They not here for a long time. It's just they turn. Because I actually desire autonomy and being by myself. But since this person now wants to be a part of my life, let's see how far this storybook goes before the next person comes.
Wait, but when you say you don't desire a relationship, again, what is that? How does that connect to it's working or not? What
I
are you,
like the process of it. I
of
said
what?
that. I like the process of getting to know the person. I like the process of learning the data behind what makes them tick and what they love.
Okay, so why do you, so I guess basically, if that's the case, that you like the process of getting to know somebody, why does it have to be, that energy have to be spent on something that's like a relationship? Why can't you spend it on something that's like a business or something?
I do have business. I have two businesses.
Okay, so if the businesses are more towards you getting to know, you could deploy what you're good at, and essentially climb the ranks. Why ever waste your energy on the relationship since it's not conducive to what you actually want?
Because my mind can expand in multiple ways and in different environments. So while I'm over here having fun with this relationship, I can also run my business. My business is attached to me and attached to my name and my empire. That's totally different based off of what a relationship is attached to, which is nothing for me. So currently, like I said, at the time, it's just they turn.
Wait. I
So,
get.
so,
Like we
so,
have
Lux,
multiple
real quick.
personalities.
We gotta let Future get in, but I'm gonna say this, Lux, and then we got because it's going in
Thank you.
circles. Lux, she is saying the quiet part out loud. You notice how my observation of her, my assessment of her, she did not disagree with because I'm pretty much spot on with what it is that she's about. And so the thing is that she's gonna know how to answer your question the way she wants to answer it. I know what you're trying to get to, Lux, but it is going in circles. And I'm gonna have to get back to the subject, okay? Future, you're new here. I
Yeah.
like to just explain the panels. I mean, explain the rules to anybody who's new to my channel, and that is no cursing, no foul language, and respect each other, okay? All right, go ahead, Future. You can answer the prompt. Are modern relationships about love or leverage?
Like in at this point in time in my life, it's about leverage, but the potential for love is there. I don't play with multiple personalities or disassociation, and this is not towards anyone. Take it how you wish, but I feel like some people do have disassociated tendencies, and that's how they play the game. But at this point in my life and in my career, I'm leveraging what I have with whom I'm dating. Does that make sense? And if love comes with it and it goes to that point, then so be it. But I'm not dealing with multiple personalities and people disassociating themselves and playing a game. I'm completely upfront. I'm transparent, and I tell them what I want and what my needs are in the beginning and what I'm looking for. So, yes, leverage, and if it turns into love, so be it. And I land.
Like, all right, what do you do? What do you where okay, unique, right? What do? You know that loop you talking about that you're very familiar with, it seems like, You know the loop. You know what's about to happen because you know about human emotion. You know how they respond once you cause them to attach to you by being the person that you know that they want you to be. So you create this attachment that this man creates an attachment to you, and you know you're gonna cut him at some point because you're just being person A. You're being a representative for them. You know you're gonna cut him. So now you start this loop. Now they're gonna be chasing you. How do you feel? Does that give you validation? The fact that you know that they're gonna chase you after that. You know what I'm saying? That makes you feel good. It boosts your ego.
So, Okira, I want to answer your question, but Fifth said that we are going to talk about other topics,
Oh,
and I
okay.
don't
My
want
bad.
the the panel to give out the things I said. Is other people on this panel that want to talk to, and Beyond has other questions he wanted to ask.
Well, I will say this. It is fair for Future to respond because Okira did address her. But yes, after that we're gonna get to Beyond his questions. But yeah, go ahead, Future, because you can respond to that. You're allowed to.
Respond to unique.
No, respond to Akira.
No, he
What
was
was the
asking Unique
question?
the question. He wasn't asking Akira. I mean, he
Oh,
wasn't
my
asking
bad.
Akira.
My bad.
I'm not giving any attention to unique because that's what she's wanting. That's what she's getting,
I don't
and
want
I
attention,
don't play
Future.
the game. All the focus is on her at the moment, and that's what she wants.
Future,
No,
I don't want attention. They're asking me questions because of my mindset and because I don't think like you think, and I think differently in the ways that I'm doing it. They're curious because a lot of women don't act like me. It has nothing to do with attention. I'm not an attention person.
Actually, Unique, a lot of women do act like you. Not all, but you're just the quiet part out loud because women are not brave as you to get on this panel and speak so brashly and honestly.
I don't think it's brave. I think it's mean.
It is.
I would.
Well, it is. But what
I'm
I'm
being
saying
honest.
is that she's not shy to come up here and say the quiet part out loud. Is what I'm trying to say because men have
Yes, sir.
encountered uniques. Like unique is not really that much unique. No pun intended.
Yes, sir.
Well, I think the thing that makes her unique is that she's extremely intentional. Most women who act like her, it's like second nature. They do it without knowing what they're doing. They find themselves in places. I would say the ones who know every move that they're doing, they can explain it, they can articulate it. That would be rare.
I think she's a good person to learn from on some real. I think she's a good person to learn from because she's telling you that 1 + 1 = 2, and she's making it very simple and plain to understand that this is possible. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I am doing. So it's good that, and it also makes us be cautious and aware of how we're attaching and how we need to control the way we feel about people. You know what I'm saying?
May I
And
may I interject? I feel like it's on purpose. I feel like emotional intelligence is something that you should have already, and you should be able to recognize this immediately.
We
I
agree. Definitely, we agree on that, Future.
Yep.
thank you.
Well, again,
Future, a
All
lot
right,
of people don't
Beyond,
have
go ahead.
emotional intelligence.
Yes, I'm going to pose a question to the whole panel. We've been talking about love and leverage for a while now, okay? So I wanted to ask this question. So when it comes to the outcome of a relationship, whether it be long-term foreverness or a breakup, when love and leverage conflict with each other, which one decides the outcome on average, whether it be a positive outcome or negative?
can I?
Beyond, you could just really just go to the divorce stats, and that'll answer your questions to a big degree. But go
Well,
ahead, James.
I'll
Yeah.
say this really quick. Sorry, hold on. We had a guy in here earlier named Bada Bing, right? Bada Bing said that he was married for, I don't know how long he was married for. He's married for a long time, right? They have 2 kids or whatever. He loved his wife, loved his kids, right? And she cheated on him. One could say that if he had leverage, maybe they would have been together still. Maybe she wouldn't have cheated. We don't know. So all I'm saying is, like, when you look at your personal experiences and what you guys think would happen, which of the two would decide the outcome of a relationship, whether it be breakup or long-term marriage?
Well, I was going to say these concepts aren't new, right? Socrates says something that I think was really crazy a long time ago. He said, he who cares most has the least control, right? So within the context of that, I think my people today, the issue with human beings is that we do a lot more lying than we think we do. We're a lot more primal than we think we are. And we operate off of emotions and what serves us way more than we're willing to admit. And the reason why, I don't want to start in trouble. The conflict between Future and Unique. The reason why it's there, because to me, someone like Future hasn't realized how basic people really are when it comes to their human emotions. So when you get into this concept of leverage, right? I think that all love has some sense of leverage in it. I think no one's going to, unless it's your child, maybe you unconditionally love. But most people love because they're getting something out of it. And the minute you take that away from them, that's when people break up.
So that question was for everybody. So whoever wants to go next, Pleasure, Lux, Okira, Unique, go ahead. Y'all can go.
Because our attraction and our standards are not asymmetrical, it's different for each gender. For men, longevity is based on your leverage. For women, longevity is based on love. And I say that because women only have one standard. That standard is security. It could be mental, it could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be financial, it could be sexual, it could be even spiritual. But a woman will always choose a woman who can provide her security, and she looks at the act of him providing that security as love. For men, our one standard is respect. It doesn't matter how beautiful a woman is, how intelligent she is, how successful she is, how amazing this Mex is. Once she gets disrespectful, the relationship is in jeopardy. So as long as he has the leverage to provide her with the security that she identifies with love, that relationship will sustain. It doesn't matter if he's cheating on her, if it doesn't matter if he's abusive. A woman will sacrifice other regards of security for the one that she feels most important. On the other hand, if a woman is not getting that
Disagree.
security, aka love, that she deems is necessary for that man, that relationship isn't going to fail. So it's different for both genders.
I do feel it is different for both genders, but I also believe it's a combination, and each individual, it's based on what they need at the time. I don't need a man's money. I have my career. I've already retired once, and I'm doing what I love to do now. I don't need anyone's money. I don't need companionship. I have my family and I have my children. So I'm at a different point in my life that I never really had the need to leverage a man's money or his ability to provide for me. Yes, I gave respect when respect was given and reciprocated, but I never needed. Do you
Well,
understand?
absolutely, Future, and I appreciate you
Thank you.
sharing your perspective. But I think the part that you're missing is
Thank you.
one, we're speaking in generalities, and two, even if you're
Sure.
currently in a position where you do not require a man's financial security, you still require that security in other regards. His physical
Sure.
presence, the way he treats you, the way he talks to you, his sexual prowess, those are all things that are important to you. So even
Absolutely.
if financial security isn't something that's on your radar, the fact that he has to be able to provide some level of security in some regard is not negated.
I respect your opinion completely. Absolutely. And when I was married, my husband at the time had absolutely nothing. I was the breadwinner, and I lifted him up. I made sure he was taken care of. I invested in his business. His business failed. I got him a job at DuPont, where I was working at a chemical company. I lifted him up, and he maintained that on his own. But, he is the father of my children, and we are not together now, but I still have love for him. And if he needed something, I would be there. I wouldn't leverage him, but I would be there for him because he's the father. And he's he's a great father.
So Beyonda,
Yes,
who
sir.
has yeah? So who has the leverage in a divorce?
On average, I would say the woman does because she's the one that initiates it.
Okay.
Agree.
Who has the leverage in terms of compensation in most times in a divorce?
Compensation?
Yeah,
In terms of
compensation.
what, like money?
Yeah.
Um,
The
the
women.
woman? Yeah, the woman. Yeah, I'd say that because yep.
Okay.
And I
And the
don't always agree with that.
and the context is why.
Possibly the systemic system of women being the weaker gender. Possibly. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, the court would probably favor the woman in that regard. Yes, fifth.
I mean, I kept the children, but then eventually, as he got on his feet, I gave him joint custody and lowered his child support. I really didn't even want it.
Future, do you realize what you're explaining is what men want? It literally is what men want. A woman that's going to stick by them. You did not leave him even after he didn't have a job. You became the breadwinner. You became the provider, right? You did the work and you still stood by him. A lot of men want that.
Right.
I don't know no man that don't want that. What I'm saying is I will act like I'm that woman, but I am not that woman. And so when he get at his lowest, at his very lowest, I will leave him. And
That's a
you saying that
shame.
he's a great father, I will leave him with them kids. He will have joint custody and he gonna have to figure it out. You ain't got no job, you gonna have to get one. Cause I ain't finna watch these kids all by myself. You
Oh, no,
gave
no,
him
no.
everything he needed to become the man he was, right? And then y'all still not together.
That's correct. But we are friends, and he is a wonderful father. And if he called me right now, I would be there.
That's the difference between what type of woman we are. If he called me
Right.
today, I wouldn't be there. He wouldn't be able to even have my number.
That's unfortunate.
But
That's, I mean,
you
it's
leaving
part
him
of
with your
having
heart because of
grace.
love. That's what that I'm saying.
Okay.
And that's
I
a
just
beautiful
have a lot of
thing. That
grace towards
is.
men and towards some women.
But if you operate that way, why have kids?
Who, me?
No, unique.
You can loving kids is different. Like you love kids unconditionally. You love
No. You
babies.
said no. You said I'm gonna leave him with them kids, and and he'll have to figure it out and all this stuff like
Yeah,
that.
50-50 custody is what I meant. Like she said she didn't give him custody until he got on his feet. You're gonna have 50-50 custody because once I leave you, okay, we're gonna pick him up on my day and then we're gonna pick him up on your day. And if you can't do that and I get full custody, then you just like you can come visit, but
Okay.
I'm not really gonna view you as a man since I gotta be the man for our children and everything.
And then if you have kids and they observe your behavior and imitate it, do you see?
No. So having kids and observe my behavior, I don't push my behavior out on kids because just because what I believe in, they should have a fair shot of what they believe in. Just like they go to school and have these Valentine's Day birthday parties, right? And they tell me about their first love and everything. I'm going to like, for example, my son has a girlfriend, and we went to the store to go get her a little beer thing, and I supported him in his like relationship and stuff. And then the girl broke up with him for somebody else, and I told him it's still love out there. Just because it didn't work out with her, it'll work out with somebody else. Just give it time. How I
Do
perceive
you think
relationships, what I think about them is totally different
do
on
you
what I want my kids to be.
do you think do as I
Hold
say,
on,
not
Lux,
as I
Lux.
do?
Hold on,
Okay.
hold on. We have a new guest on here. Twin Grits, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, welcome to the panel. My name is Le'Beyonder. I'm the co-host for today's show. This is Fifth's panel. A couple of ground rules: no cursing and no foul language. Have respect for each other. Other than that, you should be good. Respond to the prompt: are modern relationships about love or leverage? And after that, we can resume open panel. But then I have one final question for the panel, and then we'll just move on from there.
I think they're definitely less about love nowadays. I feel like women are thinking more logically and not from a sense of like, I want to be with someone for love. It's more because, I mean, do you want me to elaborate or just answer?
Yes, please elaborate on why you think that is, and then yes. So answer the
Oh,
question like, what do you think, and then elaborate on why.
because we've realized that the world doesn't operate off of love. Like, love doesn't take care of bills. Love doesn't get you all the things that people aspire to have. So it's like, if we're gonna get something, we're more so making sure we're getting something out of the deal now, because we've realized that you can love someone and they'll still cheat. You can love someone and
Yes.
they'll still leave you at your lowest. You can love someone, like you can love someone literally. You can be the textbook definition of unconditional love. You can show someone that, and that still won't stop them from doing what they want to do. So I feel like that's why a lot of women are just kind of like, well, love is great, but we're gonna need something from this.
Okay, I appreciate your response. I do want to get the response to my question initially from Lux, Okera, and James. So I would say the question again. In today's day and age, when love and leverage conflict, which one of the two decide the outcome? Whether the outcome is a long-term marriage or a breakup? Y'all can go ahead and answer whatever order you want.
Yeah, I think it's definitely predominantly leverage. Leverage is I mean, this is something that was a hard fought truth for me. I had the romantic notion that it was love a lot of times. And even if you do love each other, the leverage factor plays a much more significant role that I would have hoped in my naive, innocent younger self.
Okay, thank you for the response. So, James, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I would totally agree. I think that I've been in some situations with some women that really love me, and when I lost the leverage, it was really interesting to see how dynamics change. To be perfectly honest, even with my parents, right? My mother always loved me, but there are things that can happen when people have to choose themselves, or they have to choose, which would be the leverage, or they would have to choose love. And it was like the craziest thing in the world when I realized that people most of the time will choose the leverage over love. So yeah, I agree with the person who just spoke before me.
Okay, or did you want to respond to that question that I had earlier, or no? What about you, Twin Grits? Do you want to respond to my question that I had? I'll ask it again.
Yeah, can you say it again?
Yes.
One more time?
So when love and leverage conflict with one another, which one of the two determine the outcome of the relationship? Whether that outcome is positive or negative? Which one do you think decides the outcome?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna kind of say what I said previously. I feel like in previous relationships it was always love that determined it, because women stayed for years. Like, a man could lose his job. I think one of the ladies was just saying that before I came up. Like, a man could have lost his job, he could have lost everything, he could have cheated, he could have lost all his legs and toes and fingers, and a woman would have stayed. But nowadays, no. Like, once you lose your leverage, once you're not able to provide at whatever the leverage was, whether it was we was with you because of your looks or your status or your connections, whatever you were leveraging the relationship with, once you lose that, we out now.
Gotcha. Thank you for your response.
Is that a flex? Not that you're flexing, but I'm just saying, is that mentality being taught? Is that like a flex?
To be honest, yes, that's a flex, because when you stay with someone, when they have nothing to offer for you, you end up giving more and losing yourself. Like, are we not living in the same reality where we see women that give in relationships and then lose themselves? Like, do you know how?
That's not what I meant. I meant when you pack up and leave. I'm saying, is that the flex?
Is what the flex? I'm sorry if I'm not.
When you leave the
Okay,
relationship.
when you said now you talked about what was, because men have stayed too. I just don't want nobody to miss that part as well. But you said something about these days, what you're seeing in the modern situations is that women are like, okay, well, I'm out. And what I'm asking is, not you, it's not about anybody on the panel, but is that what's being taught as far as getting up out of there? Is that the new flex?
Yes, that is a flex. When you can walk away from a relationship before it brings you down, before you start losing out, yes, that's a flex. Because when you stay, what happens?
Twin Grits, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Should a queen know how to swing a sword in defense of her kingdom?
Yes, I feel like she should, because it may come a point. It may become a point in time where she may have to do that. She may be forced to do that. So I feel like, yeah, be prepared.
But yet you're advocating for queens to pack up and move when when the barbarians are at the gate.
I'm advocating for queens to advocate for themselves. This is not medieval times where women are sitting on the throne and being protected. We are living in the time of Epstein's and Trump's and R. Kelly's. Like, I'm advocating for women to protect themselves. That's what I'm advocating for. That's what I'm for.
I just want to say, oh, go ahead.
I'm all about a woman doing what's best for her.
Whatever
But
is
that
bet.
does.
Whatever is
May I
whatever
say
is
something?
what. Go.
Yeah, let her land future, and then you can go ahead. Go ahead, Twin Grits. Go ahead.
Whatever is best for you. If you have to take care of yourself first, and that's something that our ancestors and our mothers did not do. Our grandmothers did not put themselves first. They put everyone else first, and ran their cups dry. And one of the things that I've learned, especially as a mother and a wife, one of the things that I've learned, if I take care of myself first, everybody else is going to get the best version of me. So I have to take care of me first. And in taking care of yourself first, that's putting you first.
I just want to say, Pleasure got bars. I just want to say that. I followed you.
Facts.
I
Well,
believe I partially agree with her, with Twin, but with the exception that in my situation, he was a good man. We fell out of love. He did the best he could. He did run on hard times. I helped him because he's respectful. He is a good man. He is the father of my children. He is very involved in their life, even till this day. And like I said earlier, if he was to call me now, and he is remarried to a lovely lady, if he was to call me now and say, hey, I need your help, I would be there. I would help his wife. Because that's important for my children to see and to show grace and to show love and to have their father always.
So it's ultimately for the children.
Ultimately, yes. But
Ultimately for
also
the
for
children.
him. I still have love for him. I am not in love with him.
Right. So I think love is conditional and it's somewhat an illusion, or you know what I'm saying, and yeah, you could fall in love and stuff like that, but it's conditions on it. You know, it's contingencies on it. People don't know what's going to affect this quote unquote love that they feel they have, this strong, intense attachment, which now we are categorizing as love. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yes.
think that condition that I think is all conditional. You know what I'm saying? So,
So then
love,
you agree then women should look out for themselves and take care of themselves first, right?
That
I
ain't what he
mean,
said.
yeah.
You
That
said
ain't what
love,
it said.
but you saying love is conditional. That means you have conditions set up, and if you don't meet those conditions, then I'm out. That's what conditional love is.
Listen, what I'm trying to
Unconditional love is when you will love them regardless of the situation. But conditional love is when you say, these are my standards, these are my conditions, and when you don't meet those conditions, then I have to go.
Nah, you ain't necessarily got to verbalize it. Just things arise, and then ultimately you will start to feel like that you don't really love this person anymore. You know what I
Nope.
mean? Those things can happen without you even stating them
No,
or
no, no. I'm
knowing
not
that.
saying you have to say them. I'm not saying you have to say them. I'm not saying you have to act, like literally verbalize and have a conversation about it. I'm just saying whatever those conditions are. It could be the conditions of how he carries himself. It could be him, how he carries himself. Once he stops carrying himself a certain way, you're unattracted to him. Naturally, it just happens, and the love goes away. Like whatever the conditions are, that's what conditional love is. Conditions.
For the simple fact that it's a flex for a woman to leave, you know what I'm saying, wants to start to stumble in his ways, or some of the things about him start to diminish or whatnot. So since it's considered a flex, we gotta be aware of what we think is love, or what we
Oh,
think
Kara, I have a question for you.
what's
Do
up.
you think that a woman should love a man how she love her kids? Because she gonna love her kids unconditional. She birthed them, like she had them. Those are her babies. She carried them. She's gonna love them unconditionally. But do a man want the same love? And it's for every
No,
man that's on the panel. Do they desire the same love, unconditional, that a woman would give to her kids?
Oh,
I
let
mean,
me answer
Wait,
that
her.
after
women.
Wait,
you.
wait, 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 wait. Her kids or their kids?
Her okay, their
That's a good
kids,
catch.
regardless. She became a mother and she carried their kids. She loved their kids unconditionally, but she loves him on conditions. So do
Yeah.
men desire unconditional love? Like as if a woman would love a child, do they want that same love?
Can I answer that when you're done, bro?
You good? Yeah, okay. But I mean, you can desire.
Separate.
I mean, don't no men want to be loved like a child. Love me like a man. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Like you
Not
supposed to
like
love.
love you and like I'm gonna treat you like a child. I mean love you
Yeah.
unconditionally through anything.
Listen, listen. That means it's conditional. Period. And for the simple fact that it's conditional is not real love because you're gonna love your child unconditionally in a certain kind of form or fashion. Some people, some kids, some parents don't even love their children.
Okay, but for the women that do love their kids unconditionally, like I love my kids unconditionally, I love any man is conditional. A lot of women love okay, like Twin said, if you do these things, I'm gonna stop loving you. So do men desire unconditional love is what I'm asking. I'm just curious. That's what I'm asking.
So for
Well, I
me,
think everybody desires unconditional love, but you're not gonna get it.
so for me personally, there's no other option. Like I'm going all of my tests, all the gauntlet you have to go through in order to get close to me is testing unconditional love. I realized a long time ago that the way women love their children, not the ones who don't love their children, but the ones who really love their children, the ones who when they become schmackheads, they let them still sleep in the house and they can steal their TVs 1,000 times, and that's still my number one son. I realized a long time ago that that's love. I
Let's not
realized that. Hold on. I realized that people have the condition thing is not, and again, maybe I'm saying this because of my religious background and how the Bible might describe love, but I will say that unconditional, we are one. So when no matter how far you go down, I'm always going to be there with you to some capacity. That's the kind of love I require. That's the only, other than that, you can't be with me.
So men do require unconditional love.
At least I do. I don't know about everybody else.
Because
I do.
a woman will love her kids through that. Like if they go to whatever they go through, I'm gonna
Right.
still be there for you. I'm gonna come to every court date regardless. I'm going to be there for you no matter what is going on. But I won't do that same love for a man. So like I'm just wondering because what men been saying on the panel, and I'm curious to know what Fifth think and what Beyond think. I want to know too.
The only person that should get unconditional love from a woman is her children because she birthed them. Those kids didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask to come here. So, of course, their love is going to be unconditional. But as a man, why would you want someone to love you under all conditions? Like, and let's not confuse unconditional love with enabling. Enabling someone is requiring them not to do better. Like just allowing them to do better.
Well, obviously,
But
me and you have two different foundations of logic, right? And again, I said that I was a PI for 15 years, but I grew up under Christian parents, and now that's where I'm back to. So and we're not getting into a biblical conversation. I just want to say that what I am saying though, there's a biblical concept of love that I adhere to, and if it goes outside of that lines, then I'm not with it. So for me, unless a woman has that same ideology of that biblical love that I'm describing, I don't want no parts of it. So for you, I understand why you're saying what you're saying because you probably don't subscribe to that, but I do. So, and I know that there are women who actually see that. So that's what I'm always going to look for, right? Because our ideologies are different.
So you're looking for a woman to love you as if she loved her kids.
Absolutely.
That's and a
oh,
lot of
it's
men
true.
believe that. A lot of men
It
want that, and when you
it
don't do that, and they be like, if a man like, oh, you're a good mother, some men be like, oh my gosh, she's going to love me just like she loves her kids.
And then it creates competition. That's when men go into households and create competition. It's a competition to see
What are you
who's gonna
talking
get
about?
that type of love.
What if me and you have kids together? Like, all situations aren't you had kids by yourself and then I'm coming into the situation. I'm talking about if
Even in those situations as well, there are a lot of situations where men are jealous of the love
of
that
their own
women
children.
of their own children. There are a lot of
Yes.
relationships like that.
Yes.
That's
Yes, they are.
terrible. That's
mean,
terrible.
Okay, here's the thing, James. I am a faith-based brother as well. I understand what you're speaking to because a woman who is loving her kids more than her husband is out of order.
What? It's a different type of love.
Yes,
That is
James.
it's
James, am I right?
incomparable.
hold on, and I what's your name, twin? Yes, you are right, and they don't understand the concept because modern culture has taught them totally different things. But you're right.
There's no whenever, and especially if we're going to talk about religion, it's an umbrella. If everybody falls in line and stays in their place, there's no competition. The type of love, that's what I'm saying about the different types of love. The type of love you gonna give your husband is different. The type of love you're gonna give your children, that's different. Like,
So
nobody should feel out of place. Like,
so
nobody should be jealous.
this is how you're wrong, right? And again, this is only if you listen to where we're coming from. The two flesh become one, right? So if we become one, that means anything that I go through, you're going through, anything that you're going through, I'm going through, whether that's good or bad. That's why when you take those vows, right, through what sickness and health, to unalive do us part, all of that was based around a concept of we become one no matter what. Everything that you're talking about is modern ideology. And I get it. I understand how the world works. I'm not naive to that. But it is a clash between what me and the host are talking about.
Oh, well, let me get out of that conversation with y'all talking about, because this is modern relationships. I didn't know we was talking about traditional biblical times. I thought we were talking about modern relationships.
Well, whether it's traditional,
Modern means today.
Right. And he just said what I'm talking about is a modern ideology. Well, we're talking about modern times, right?
But
Well,
he acknowledged but Twin Grits. He acknowledged that he understands how most of the world operates. What he's saying, as far as for him and his house, they shall serve the Lord. But he could still speak general on what's going on in relationships. So he's not necessarily trying to change your view or evade your view. He's just
He said I
saying the
was wrong.
standpoint that
He said
he was saying that
that's
because you
evading. He said I was wrong.
no. Before we get to that, he said in terms of what he's talking about that you would be wrong about what he's referring to. But he is acknowledging that the world operates in that way. So he understands that not everybody is going to be under the same umbrella as a Bible believing faith teaching. He's acknowledging both parts.
yeah,
He's just saying for him that you wouldn't be his wife. He's not somebody like he's not equally yoked with you, but you, ma'am, are equally yoked with a man who believes the same thing that you believe,
right,
and he's equally yoked with a woman who believes the same thing that he believes, and that's who he's going to leave and cleave with.
right. You hit that dead on that. It was like you was me. You said it the way I would have said it, host.
There you go.
Have you ever cheated before? I know you're not gonna say if you have. Have you ever cheated before?
Me or the
yeah.
host?
No, you, James, Mr. James.
Yeah, but I'm in my mid-40s, right? So I had a long enough life to be a few different kinds of people, right?
So you cheated? You didn't answer I didn't hear you answer my question.
I said yeah. I said yeah first.
Okay, so all that don't even matter. You still like you saying, like you literally sitting here saying like the type of woman and conditions and all that kind of stuff. You still gonna be a man at the end of the day. So like,
he's reformed. He's reformed. He's talking about his past life. He's reformed since then.
Right. I'm like I said, I'm old enough to have a few different personalities and change. Like there was a time where I was a complete savage. There's a time where I dedicated myself to God. You know, that I was a child at one time. So yeah, but I'm saying if I'm going to move towards what is right, my standard is going to be well, you got to love this way because this is how I'm going to love you.
Okay.
I don't
It's a
believe in
shame that
modern
people.
times. I do not like that cliche, modern times. I'll have to agree with you, James. Um, there are conditions based biblically, as far as cheating, death, abuse, things of that nature, that allows you to give a letter of divorcement. And I mean, for whatever reason, God's words never change. Modern or not, whatever you want to call it.
But when you're debating, you have to
Right.
you have to, you can't just think about your own personal religion, like what your own
Well,
beliefs.
that's my view. I'm talking about what I feel and believe. That's my opinion. And you have your opinion, and I respect that. And James has his, just like everyone else on the panel.
Yeah, this is a very
That's all I'm
respectful
saying.
panel. I will say that. Like,
Yeah.
this is, everybody has been very respectful. This is one of the first
Yeah,
ones I've been on.
Twin. I appreciate that. I do keep a respectful panel. I had to get someone out of here that I thought me and her had a rapport, but it is what it is. Nothing personal against her. If she wants to come back, she can, but it just has to be respectful. That's all. I need everyone's final thoughts because I'm going to end the stream. Okay, I got to clock in for work. Anybody want to go first?
Have a good shift at work, Fifth. I hope you have a good shift.
Thank you. And thank you. And once again, I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays for now on. No more Saturdays. Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 Central. Anybody else want to go?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it's a shame that we live in a world where we've diminished love, and I hope that we can get it back. We've created a new definition for it, and it's why our children are going to suffer. So I'm done.
Okay, I'll say something real quick. I'll just say that if more men will operate from actual love, and like when you're operating from love, you're not gonna cheat, and you're not gonna, like, you're just not gonna operate the way men operate when you operate actually on love. So if we operate more on love, women will go back to love. But for right now, we just need the access to take care of our kids.
I want to say something to Fifth. Is it, you say you be on YouTube, you be posting this on YouTube? Can you put your YouTube information in comments so I can copy it and be a subscriber?
Yes, at Fifth General TV. I'm gonna put it right there. My YouTube channel. Also, if you go to my page, all of my social links are there. Let me go ahead and put it here. YouTube. Okay. I'm also building a YouTube panel, trying to get some people who are going to be part of that stream. I will be doing that on Monday nights. So if anybody wants to be a part of that, they can inbox me. That is something that I am starting. All right.
Well, congratulations and respect to all, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, Future. You could always come back. Akira. Thank you, Akira. Thank you,
Nah,
everybody. Thank you, James.
Have
You
a
have any
good
final
day.
thoughts, Akira? No problem. Thank you, Future. You
nah.
got it.
I just think that we should just focus on loving each other. Yeah, loving ourselves properly, and then we will be able to discern what other role people play in our life. That's it.
Akira, you
I
got a
agree.
pretty thank
Thank you, Okira. Yep, I like your name
All
too.
right.
I follow you.
All right. I could definitely respect that. I'm gonna go ahead. I gotta have a couple. So Unique, before I end it with you, Unique, you there?
Yes.
Hey, Unique. I appreciate you not taking everything so personal. One of the things that I do on my panel is that I make this statement, and that is, if you disagree, it's okay to disagree, but you could do it respectfully. And we're adults here, and everybody can get their point across. Okay. And so, even though you may have an opposing view, at least you're not disrespectful about it. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. And also, I know how to remain frame and me not get so emotional and get so offended to the point where I can't control myself. And so I appreciate that. And I gotta say, you are you're truthful, you're honest, and I may not align with what you're saying, but at least I can respect your honesty and just go from there. And so I
Okay.
appreciate you. Yeah, no problem. And I appreciate you being a supporter of my channel because you have been since you've been on another live of mine's, and I appreciate that. And hey, if you're available Tuesday afternoon, we could definitely do that. This show will be on my YouTube channel tomorrow. What I'd like to do is put the streams up on the YouTube channel the following day. Okay?
Well, I just subscribed to it. My name on YouTube is totally different from what my name is on TikTok. I know you
It's
gotta
okay.
get going, but I don't take it personally what people say to my thought process because I know they're gonna be offended because of how I'm articulated and the way I speak. I know what I did and I sit with what I did and I take full accountability for it. So I don't get offended when people are offended about what I did. And I can describe it in a level voice way and not get my emotions into it because nobody likes an emotional woman.
Right. Well, we definitely could. That's one thing me and you both could agree on. So, all right, I appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead
Mhm.
and close this out. All right, I'll see
Okay.
you another time. I'm
Yeah.
gonna disconnect you, but I'm gonna make one final announcement before I go. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You have a good day. Have a
You
good
too.
weekend.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I will no longer be streaming on Saturdays. I will be streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Fifth on TikTok. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 Central. Connect with me on my other social platforms at Fifth General TV on YouTube. Also at The Fifth General on IG, Twitter, and Facebook. Okay. All right. See y'all next time. I say every stream, every moment is a teachable moment. Every moment is a teachable moment. Listen to everyone and what they said on the panel respectfully, and hey, all you could do is go from there. We always learn from everything, okay? All right. God bless y'all. Have a good week and take care of each other. I love you.